All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you guys are having an amazing morning. Hope you guys had an incredible day yesterday. All right, friends, sorry for all the inconveniences this morning. We did have a little tech issue on my end, and Peter's now having a hard time to connect through our Zoom there. So we should be getting him shortly. Just got to get a couple of things refreshed. I see him connected, but I can't hear you or see you, Peter, for some reason. But I see you are on there. But friends, welcome. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Good to have you back as this market continues to be extremely exciting. Things now going in the other direction. So much news over in the Middle East with the Strait of Hormuz. Blockade coming up now. All kinds of things happening that will fill you in throughout this show this morning. Quick look at our gap list. Brought to you by TradingTerminal.com. Here's what we have going on so far. Very balanced style and the same song and dance, right? Things go south, oil goes up, energy tickers are in play, at least to the upside, and then everything else seems to take the backseat into the red. With that, we're going to be having a lot of earnings as we kick off earnings week as well. We got some already this morning as the banks usually take the first stab at that, and then the rest start to trickle in. So a lot happening for us as far as retail traders. Should be an amazing week and should be some really great times coming up ahead as far as volatility, which is what we love to see here. All right, we'll just check it out, Peter. Let me see if I can get him on. And I see him connecting, coming on and off. But again, don't see any feed from him. So we'll get him here. Sometimes these things happen. All right. In the meantime, let's quick look at the SPY. What's happening there, friends? As you can see, as I mentioned earlier, we are having some negative news this morning. With at 10 o'clock today, the Strait of Hormuz is supposed to be closed because we couldn't get a deal happening over the weekend when JD Vance took his trip out there. So that's supposed to happen at 10 a.m. today. We don't know exactly how that's going to affect the markets already. We are down here slightly this morning, and with that, many other tickers down as well. So not looking good for some of the stuff as far as the overall market this morning. And let me just line this up here. There you go. We're still trying to get Peter in here. I see him, but not sure why he's not connected. Yeah, there's the daily, friends. Again, just we're looking for some good action. What a time to be a day trader. Yes, I agree. Swing trading could be tough depending on how you're sitting, but it is an amazing time to be a day trader. There's no question about it. The volatility is there. Let me just text something to Peter real quick, guys. Disconnect now. And I will. All right, we're trying a couple of things here to get our good buddy Peter back on the show here. The straight close and starting the win of changes start playing. Oh yeah, absolutely, man. We are in a market headline driven market. There's no question. And people are just, stocks are reacting favorably or not favorably, depending on how it benefits them. So, all right, let's try this here. We'll get Peter one way or the other. We'll get him somehow. We'll get him in here. But I think he joined too early. He had to wait. Peter, check my messages. I have to disconnect again. You gotta wait till I connect first, then you connect. So disconnect. And then wait for me to give you the okay to connect back if you can hear me. Hopefully you can. Let me text him again here. All right. In the meantime, friends, let's not waste any more time. Quick look at what's happening here. Let's continue with our gap up list. Okay, we have Sky Q is up here, and these guys been making a lot of noise over the last couple of days. As you know, today they continue to make a new high. So as you're seeing here on our daily, I mean, they just been high flying as high as 2045 this morning, and the last couple of days you could see how much action they have had over the several days here. Over almost all of April, they've been pretty active. So looking strong again this morning. Not the easiest stock to trade. It is a low flow ticker sitting at 2.7 million. So that is why you're seeing that these very high flying moves. For me personally, it's not a stock that I like or that I will have in play. So I'm probably going to skip on it this morning. But it is a low flow stock that is fun to watch. I'm gonna probably put it under my popcorn ticker here this morning. Daily, so far as pre-market action, we got 4.1 million shares traded on it. So we do got some serious volume on it this morning. So definitely in play. But a lot of it's sideways. If you look at the pre-market activity, it's all been sideways this morning. So not a whole lot going on as far as movement in itself with that 4 million. If it was not this one, maybe a buyout. I mean, it looks a little, nah, it would have been more volume, I think. But yeah, there it is. In play, I'm gonna put it on our popcorn ticker because I think it'll be fun to watch, but I will not be trading it, guys. I'm not a low flow trader, so it's usually not my cup of tea. Next on here, Recon XT. No, VIP will be coming up shortly. We're trying to get Peter first in the room, and then I'll work on getting the VIP lounge open for you guys. So give me a second here. All right, let's take a look here, friends. We have RVMD. So RVMD. Okay, I see Peter here connected again. Wow, it still can't get Peter. That's strange. Usually the third, fourth time it'll work, but it still cannot see Peter connected here. Let's try one more thing.
Am I here? Hello?
Oh, there we got Peter now. Finally.
Okay.
Peter, are you connecting from the moon? See the background there? Pretty nice. Paris. Very nice.
I'm in Paris. It's sort of
awesome.
With the technical problems, it defeats the story. But yeah, we'll talk about that a little later.
Nice, man. Never been there. Probably will.
Oh, it's lovely.
We'll see. Yeah, it is
there
good.
Last year.
Yeah,
I really enjoy Paris. I like Paris a lot more than I thought I would. So thought I'd go back. I got some shopping to do, so we'll talk about that a little later. Anyways,
nice.
Good morning.
Awesome, man. Good morning. All right. So yeah, we're just talking about RVMD this morning. So here another one that's high flying. This one on the other hand, though, 172 million shares flow. So it's not a low flow ticker. This is Revolution Medicine. So pretty cool stuff here. As far as this goes, I'm really shocked. There's 172 million shares traded and moving this much this morning, up 32%. That is a lot. Peter, not sure if you have the news handy since we've been working on some tech stuff here, but it is high flying today.
Yeah, Revolution Medicine. It feels like it's been a while since we've actually talked about biotechs of any sort. Biotechs have been very quiet. Maybe with all the, I don't know, war and stuff, they've just been not having breakthroughs, but looks like Revolution Medicines has a breakthrough with metastatic pancreatic cancer. They have a trial that's going into phase 3. So that's actually a late stage trial, which is great news for anybody with pancreatic cancer. Anyways, this drug is meeting all of its secondary endpoints with significant benefit for the users. So makes sense that the stock is moving this morning. And like you said, it's popping up here. Let's see if it can continue the momentum and volume. It should. They're curing cancer, for goodness sake. So hopefully this will be a good trader. It is a low float. So we got to, sort of. It's going to trade like a low float. I see it's got a pretty big float, actually. 172 million shares here in this float. So technically it's not a low float, but I think we have to treat it like it's going to trade like one. It's also a higher price. Look at that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's shocking. Up 33%. We usually don't see that for a stock that's 172 million shares float. That's a lot. So it's very interesting. I am going to put it on my secondary list. I want to see where this goes. I mean, let's take a look. RVMD on the secondary list for now, and we'll check a little bit later on what's happening there. All right, let's take a look at what else we have here. We have ALMU. I don't ever recall seeing this one before, but this is up 25% this morning, 2.3 million shares traded, 9.9. So it is on the lower flow type here. 9 million is extremely low. I'm probably not going to have it on deck, but it has a great clean pre-market activity, guys. If you look at it here, it is moving nicely, as high as 15 this morning, down to 13, still up 26% today.
Yeah, and this is a low float, and it's a small company. This is a company that had $5 million worth of sales last year. That's important because they just won a contract with the government to scale up its quantum materials semiconductor platform. So look at that, Carlos. They got everything going in there. They're able to use quantum and semiconductor in the same sentence, so that's good. That always gets the market interested. But it's a $4 million contract. So from a government point of view, that's coffee change. It's pocket change. It's nothing. Yeah. So, but it's a big, for the size of this company, that's a big deal. That would double their annual annual sales. And looks like the government's trying to invest in some early stage quantum companies. So this is quantum materials and lasers is what they're making. So look at that. They even managed to get lasers in there. So sounds cool. Anyways.
Keywords, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm a little confused about what they do because, I mean, if you go to their website, they show basically people with these funky VR glasses doing things. So I don't know what that's got to do with lasers and quantum materials, but I guess it doesn't matter. Show any tech, make it look cool.
So true. So true. All right, I'll continue here, guys. We have SYRE this morning. Oh, did a space there. SYRE. As you can see here, we are up 24%, 52 million shares traded. So nice big pop for them here in the daily as they continue to push higher. Doesn't get a lot of volume though. You can tell here, very low volume. A lot of their daily is stuck well below 1.5 million. Some days hitting 1.4, but you can see here they don't trade a whole lot of volume. But today already 315,000. So maybe today they'll see some action this morning.
Yeah, and again, it's a Monday, so we're getting our biotech companies back here, which I said I feel like we haven't even seen or talked about in the last couple of weeks. So this feels a little more normal. I like it. But they've got a phase 2 trial of a drug for moderate to severe ulcerative colitis. So there you go. So that's meeting its primary endpoint. Always good news when companies like this have a drug. This is, again, it's not exactly a low float. Like, it's just over our limit at 64 million shares traded. But this is a company with $0 of sales. So yeah, it's it's low float. It's a low float. It's a low float territory.
Yeah. Careful on that one. I don't like the setup also, so we'll put it on the side here. Anna has been in play quite a bit. We've seen in our list on and off today. I think it's just continuing back to where they came from. So if you remember here, they had a nice move all the way up to about almost 11, back down to 5, getting the break out of like $3, $2 or so. Heavy volume at the beginning at this spike. Since then, the volume has really died down. So I don't think it's really in play. You do have shares for sure. I will not be shocked. I'll be surprised if there's anything significant, and it's not. It's only 30,000, so that's not a whole lot for this ticker. We'll find better things to look at. This is not going to be one of them for me.
No, and that would make sense, Carlos. It's like a lot of these, this is just an oil and gas company. We've seen it several times pop up here. And we're going to see these oil and gas names on both the gap up and the gap down list, depending on exactly what the news is. So once again, gas prices expected to go up now that, and I think you mentioned this while we were trying to connect there. So, we had a good day in the market with gas prices dropping, or at least gas company stock valuations dropping a little bit, as the U.S. said they struck a deal and we're going to have a 2-week ceasefire. And as we had anticipated, by Monday morning, the ceasefire is off again. Well, they didn't exactly say that, did they? They haven't said the ceasefire stopped. However, one of the conditions of the ceasefire was that the Strait of Hormuz was being unblocked or opened up. Iran sort of said they're unblocking it, but also said they reserve the right to approve anybody that goes through and potentially charge a tariff if they so choose. The U.S. has said that is not exactly what we were looking for, so we're going to shut the Strait of Hormuz. So everybody's shutting the strait. No, I'm shutting it. No, I'm shutting it. No, I'm going to shut it down. Anyways, all right. Apparently it's shut one way or the other, which means gas prices go up and supply continues to go down, and we continue to see greater prices at the pumps. And Carlos, it's getting high. Remember when we started tracking this just a couple of weeks ago? we were looking at prices. There was around $3, 3.12. I think it was actually 3.12, and now we're almost exactly $1 higher on average in the U.S. And as you can see there in that chart, that's pretty big. And that I mean, you must be seeing increase in gas prices. I know that I was looking over the weekend, and here in Ottawa, we were up to $1.90 per liter, and that's Canadian per liter. So that's about $6 a gallon, I think, in US dollars equivalent, roughly, something like that. So yeah, it's the gas prices are definitely continuing to rise.
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, here it depends, man. Here you got some gas stations that are very, very. They're so shady, man. Here in New Jersey, like
Why are they shady?
they're shady because there's certain highways, and if you're from Jersey, you know there's certain highways that are leading towards New York, right? And the price is so different because they know if you don't take that gas station, you're screwed. You're in New York prices now, right? So it'll be like cheap, 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 and then the last one, boom, like for no reason. 40, 50 cents extra, right? So it's like you got to know where to go. They're very slick about this thing. Yeah, I seen as high as 480. I haven't seen 5 yet, but 480 is the highest I've seen in my area. So for regular, but yeah, definitely higher. We came from like 295.
They say in Jersey, I'm looking at your average price in Jersey is $4.03, and in New York, this is New York State. No, New York City. This is only $4.12. So you're basically right on the average. But sounds like you're right. There must be some shady gas stations that are well above average.
Absolutely. The ones on the Garden State where it's like there's only one in the middle, right? And the next one's like 15 miles away, unless you exit to the town. They're gonna get you, you know. So yeah, you got those. Those are rest areas are no joke.
There you go. Well, the highest prices once again are in California, as they normally are. $5.90 a gallon. So yeah, they're at the high. So that's not good if you're living in California and you've got yourself a nice big truck or something. So it's
nice
or a sports
diesel, car. A cylinder. Yeah, that would do it. All right, friends. Continue here on our gappers. Actually, before we do that, let's give you guys an idea what's happening today. It's not a lot scheduled. I mean, I think the blockage this morning at 10 a.m. is going to be probably the most important thing. I don't think the market's going to react because nothing really changes by them just saying, hey, we're going to start at 10 a.m. These boats don't move that fast. It's not like they have a line of boats coming through and they're going to stop, from moving them. So I don't think it's going to be a big change, but let's see. Here, Peter, so we have for the U.S. economic calendar. What is scheduled for this morning that might move the markets?
Yeah, not a lot. I mean, it's fairly quiet. Earlier this morning, we did have, and let's see, you can bring it up live here. We did have the OPEC monthly oil report that came out. I don't see any results for that, so I don't know what that report was. But probably no change other than, supply continues to be constricted. And there's a problem in the markets, which is probably why we're seeing all these oil and gas companies pop up. Later this morning at 10, as you can see, we've got home sales coming up, and it's just the existing home sales for March. So for last month, expected to be just over 4 million homes having been sold. And I haven't actually heard what's been happening with housing prices. I know they've been pretty stable here. Let's see. I don't know if this is just going to report on the number of houses sold, not their relative price. So I have to assume that more houses get sold when the prices are dropping versus going up, but maybe not. I don't know if those are correlated.
I know the interest in some areas are dropping. I know a couple of my friends are refinancing it. One of them bought his house just last year. He refinanced. He's down. He's able to get from 7 to down to 5, so 2%. Hey. Wow. That's not bad. So interests are definitely down in some areas here. All right, let's see how that plays out. We'll see how the market reacts. Again, it's a hit or miss if the market's going to do something with that. And
probably not.
But, probably not. Yeah, we'll see. If you missed it right now, the SPY is down just slightly, given all the not having a deal over the weekend. So that's not what the market wanted to hear. Not by much, though. We still got a very nice move up since the ceasefire started. If the ceasefire stops, then that's probably when things will go a little bit more south. But right now, it's just some people are not getting their oil to continue business.
And you have to admit, I mean, I I found it interesting that it seemed like JD Vance was put at the forefront of these negotiations, Carlos. And
Yep.
look, no matter what you feel about the administration, you gotta can I say without being too controversial, you got to be a little critical of JD Vance's record. Like, hasn't it been every single time he's been sent into negotiation, it's never turned out the way people
He's
hoped?
too nice, man. He's too nice. You gotta
I
send
don't know.
Rubio. He's too nice.
I
Send
don't know if it's that
Rubio.
he's nice or what, but so
Doesn't
far
work.
he I don't think he's batting about zero for actually accomplishing the objectives of going into a negotiation. It feels like, well,
Yeah,
you know,
can't
there's a
stand this guy.
variety of reasons. I think, you know, there's different
Yeah.
things going on, but it's just, and you know, in fairness, perhaps to him, he hasn't been sent into easy situations. However, you know, it's that's the job. So, anyways, it's
I think Rubio would have got it done. You know, he's got that Cuban blood.
you're a big Rubio fan, are you? I don't know. I mean,
you know what? I like the
I'm not sure.
BS talk. It's just straightforward, whether you like it or not. Some of the stuff he says off the wall, but I'm like, I'm never gonna see this again when any party comes out next, whether it's another Republican party, you know, another Republican administration, Democrats. We're never gonna see this again. Like, this type of talk is just, it's insane. I'll give you an example, Peter, and we got some time. This ain't going on today. I'll give you an example, right? The way you communicate things are very important. Right? This administration communicates things very rough, and people don't like that. People don't like to tell what to do.
That's very true.
You know, Trump was gonna say, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna blow these guys up. I'm gonna blow them up." Obama would say, "You know, we're gonna have some political talks, and if we can get this done, then we'll have other alternatives." And he'll get on the phone without being on the mic, just blow them up if they don't communicate. See, the same thing, but different communication. Trump doesn't do that, and that's what. People don't like that stuff. They don't like it. They like, you know, people to talk nicely, to be gentle. And when you have these guys talking rough like that, the Secretary of Defense, the other one too, he's also talks very rough. People don't like it, you know. And I kind of like this rough environment. It's okay. It's okay for me, you know. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But
dangerous territory here. All right. We'll I have many comments I'd like to make to that, but we'll leave it because we're gonna get people angry.
People. It doesn't matter. Let people get angry. It's okay. It's just
can't say
politics.
that I agree with you on that exactly.
Peter, but, you don't agree. You're just like John. You don't agree with anything I say when it comes to politics.
I get you with the rough thing, but there's a difference between rough and just saying nonsense. I mean, you know, to go out and say I'm going to commit war crimes. Or
there's some stuff that they don't.
Like,
there's some stuff that you can't say. There's some stuff you can't say like that. I don't agree with that. You're right. There's some stuff that I don't agree with 100%. For example, like we knew why Trump lost to Biden to begin with. Once he said they were doing the back and forth, and Trump said something. He said he didn't care about the people that died of COVID. It's fake. And I was like, right there when they were going back and forth, you lost. And he did. He lost because you can't say that. Right? There's people that actually died. There's somebody sitting with their family at their table that one of their family members is missing because of it. He lost. Right. Keep your mouth shut. Yeah. And I agree that he should not talk so much. Every time he sees a mic, he wants to say something. Dude,
we can agree on that.
Don't talk so much, right? So I'll go both ways, man. I love Democrats in certain cases. I love Republicans, and I'm not afraid to say, hey, this is wrong, this is right. And I'm not a person, and a lot of people shouldn't be. I know a lot of people like this, that they're Republican, and they're Republican all the way no matter what. Or they're Democrat, all the way no matter what. I'm like, you can't do that. You got to look at what's happening and then make a decision. But there's people like that, which I don't understand. So I don't know, man. I'm a different breed. It's just different. It's different. But I love how people, they put themselves in this bubble, and that's it. They're not moving from there no matter what. I'm like, I swing both ways, man. I swing both ways. So
you swing both ways.
Well, both ways, baby. Yeah, you'll find me. You'll find me in a Florida mall with the pineapple upside down when it comes to politics. Okay, so yeah, let's do this. I just found out what that means. You know what that means, Peter?
No, I have no idea what that means.
So I just found out that if you have a pineapple upside down, supposedly you are looking for like a couples mingling type of thing.
Like
so
a physical pineapple.
A physical pineapple. No, like a physical pineapple upside down.
Where do you carry it? You just walk around carrying
a
pineapple?
I guess, yeah. Well, if you're in a grocery store, I guess you put it upside down, and that's kind of like the signal for, hey, there's a swinging situation here.
Damn.
So careful how you place a pineapple.
Is that a thing? I had no
That is a
idea.
thing.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
telling you.
All right.
All
Okay.
right,
All
friends.
right.
Too much news you need to
Okay.
know this morning, but
Oh
let's
my
continue
God. The
here with our.
education.
I'm telling you, you're gonna learn a
Yeah.
lot whether you like it or
Oh,
not today.
okay. Heavens forbid. That's
Oh my,
I'm
yeah.
shocked.
It's a
Anyways,
thing.
okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong in chat. It is a thing. Yeah, I was
All
shocked as
right.
well. Don't
There you
misplace your
go.
pineapples, friends. All right, here
Yeah.
we go. I
Carlos,
D. Yeah.
talking about things on the list, we are heading back into earnings season. Let's talk earnings for a second.
Yes.
And
Yep.
we do have one this morning that we might as well mention because it's a big list. I'm surprised at how many things there are in the gappers list. Both up and down, not huge movers, but there's a lot of stuff that we're not going to get to all of it. But Goldman Sachs had earnings this morning, and look, it's a bank. Banks almost always beat their numbers, almost always, and often it's like just by ridiculous amounts. And again, this is one of these days where you got Goldman Sachs that beat their numbers, and something's out of whack a little bit because they were supposed to earn about $16 billion worth of revenue, and they've reported like 34. I don't quite understand how that happens. How do you double your revenue? Anyways, but it feels like that's wrong, or there's something mismatched in the numbers there. But on the bottom line, it looks like they delivered earnings per share of $17.55, which is once again above analysts' expectations of $16.34. So one way or the other, they beat their numbers. And I think we're going to see that from all the banks, right? Banks are loving this environment. There's some uncertainty out there. They're making money on the interest rates. They're making money on, I think they're M&A type activities. They're making money on. I mean, let's face it. There's a bunch of banks that are all lined up for this big SpaceX IPO, which is another big money grab for banks. Banks love big IPOs, and looking at the biggest IPO of all time, which is anticipated with SpaceX, of course, expect some more good quarters. But here we go. Goldman Sachs today. We got Citibank, BlackRock, Wells Fargo. We'll see a whole bunch of banks tomorrow. We continue Wednesday morning with Bank of America and Morgan Stanley. So today it's about the banking and Netflix. Netflix could be interesting. They did announce an increase in their rates, so but that's not going to have hit their numbers yet. However, everybody's still anticipating that they'll have a pretty good quarter. The only asterisk on that is, remember, they had to pay a penalty for getting out of that deal with that they were sort of warring with, that whole Paramount fiasco thing. So in any event, we'll see how their numbers pan out, but that'll be not till Thursday. So we got a little bit of time to wait. It's a build this week on earnings.
Yeah, absolutely. So Netflix did have to end up paying that. Was that the final thing? I
So.
thought. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I'm pretty
sucks for
sure.
them.
I didn't hear that
Yeah.
they ever got out of it. So
Yeah. All right. Sounds good, friends. We'll look out some of those earnings to see how those play out. I'm looking forward to some of these, especially Netflix. Should be a whole lot of fun after hours on Thursday. And the banks, they're hit or miss. Sometimes they do well, sometimes they don't. You just mentioned Goldman Sachs here, and we are down 4.4, 881,000 shares traded. And this is probably one of the nicest and cleanest activities we have seen on Goldman Sachs. And it usually happens with big news or earnings, and today is earnings. So very light volume. Usually these New York Stock Exchange tickers don't get heavy volume in the pre-market, but it should come in at the market. Although I just realized Goldman Sachs trades very little volume, Peter. I didn't realize this. 2.8. I mean, this is very low.
Yeah, they're one of the lower of the banks. Like unlike Bank of America, which is trading a lot more shares on average per day. Goldman Sachs is one of the lower of them. So I've got an update on that revenue. Okay. It looks like their revenue number was their revenue was 17.2 billion, which is a little over the 16.95 billion it was estimated. So in any way, they beat their number, and they declared a pretty healthy dividend, $4.50. So they got money, they're making money, they're giving money back to their shareholders. It's all good in Goldman Sachs land. Interesting that their stock price is dropping, but when is the dividend effective date? That would actually make a difference here. That I don't have offhand. I'm not sure, because usually the stock price drops right after the dividend cutoff happens, because that's when people liquidate a position, because you'll still get paid the dividend and you can sell the stock. But I don't think that's today. It's usually like a couple of days after earnings, but I don't see that date. And in any event, Carlos, this is one that's Probably will pop up at the open as long as the market remains relatively strong, but it could just be gapping down again with the market moving down about 0.5% here this morning. So I'll keep an eye on it probably, but I doubt I'm going to be doing anything with it from a trading point of view.
Yeah. Same here, man. I'll throw on a secondary because it will come out, but they did have earnings. It's the first one out of all the big ones are scheduled. So on the secondary list, but again, just I'm not sure how well it's going to trade. All right, let's continue heading to our gappers list this morning, friends. The rest on here, we've seen plenty of time, so I don't want to spend too much time on this ELAB, VG. I mean, there's just don't trade very well. And then we have some of the Oxy, XOM, some of the oil tickers on deck here, energy plays. But yeah, I don't want to spend time on ELAB and some other ones. And the EDYA, they're just not great. But if you guys call it out, if you see something exciting, we'll look at it, and we can always, bring it up later in the show. We will look at PLTR, of course. That's one that has been such a mover, guys. Look at the daily here. It's been getting a huge increase in volume from what they normally do, or what they normally did in March and April. They have gotten volume like this before. You can see here, end of January into February, good volume when they're moving the way they did. Last time they did this 3-day drop, they found somewhat of a base. We're trying to hold that base here in the last couple of days. So I'm going to have it in play, man. It's a 2.1 million shares traded right now. It is up 2.5 given how rough the last 2 days have been. And then, again, this thing can trade so well, Peter, so I'm going to have it on it. Not sure if there's any new news on this one, but we'll keep it on list on my end.
Nothing new. I mean, again, there was a bunch of little news articles, events, I suppose, that happened last week that resulted in that 3-day downturn. Now I say 3-day, it was really sort of 2.5 days, because at the open for 3 days in a row, Palantir was a great short. Just shorted at the open and you were good for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But Friday it did bounce back, and it ended up closing, well, almost green. I mean, it basically closed where it opened. Technically it was red, but the price action was generally upwards for the afternoon. So I don't know what's going to happen with it today. There's nothing changed radically in their business. I mean, it's just all speculation, right? Speculation that Anthropic has got some better technology, speculation that their technology, having been used in the war, is not performing as effectively as anticipated. Speculation that there may not be a lot of new contracts coming from them. I mean, that could all change with the announcement of one new contract, or some tech news, or who knows what it could be. So for the time being, PLTR, Carlos, it's just in play one way or the other, right? Don't know today whether it's going to go up or down. It actually looks pretty good early on here this morning to my eye. It had a good move up very, very early on in the trading session, right after things opened at 4 a.m. Sold off until about 8, and now it's going back up. So I think it's worth watching. Like you said, over 2 million shares traded already this morning. I'm going to put it on my list, but I'd be watching it anyway, just because it's been moving so relatively well over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, man, I like this one. And again, on the last week was really awesome. If you guys missed it, this thing traded very, very well. Out of the gates, it's just sold off and just couldn't find any support, right? So we'll see what happens today. What do we think about the war today in oil with the markets tank? I don't know. I honestly think we're going to get some choppy action. That's what I'm thinking. Peter?
The markets don't love uncertainty. And, let's face it, we have been on again, off again, right, on this war. And the market will move with that for a while before the markets generally stop paying attention to the news, or at least settle with the news and wait for something more certain. Generally, they price to the downside and then sit and wait. We saw this with COVID. We saw this, frankly, with the tariffs that happened with Trump. Remember how when the tariff announcement happened at first, we had all sorts of movement, right? And then the more announcements that came, the more that Trump kept announcing new tariffs, and he's putting them on and he's taking them off, and he's putting them on again and he's taking them off, and negotiations are going well. No, they're not going well, right? Like the market eventually just said, you know what, figure it out,
got numb to
get back to us. And so I feel like we're getting to that point with the war, because this is a very similar pattern, right? This seems to be the way Trump is managing this administration and the major events, right? He initiates a big action, which causes all sorts of turmoil, and then says, oh, no, we're done, and it's all been super successful. And then, well, hold on, we're still working on it. And then it's done. No, it's not done. It's on, it's off. And the market, sort of reacts less and less as time goes on with this, until something definitive happens, and often we don't get to that something definitive. We just move to the next crisis. So it'll be interesting to see how the market reacts. Like, this is one that clearly people are going to be concerned about. The economy can demonstrate a direct impact, but I mean, just like tariffs, right? You can demonstrate that impact in prices and in the economy. It's just tougher because it's a bigger amorphous type impact, right? I mean, get oil and gas prices, it's not like they actually change overnight, and the reserves change overnight. They just have the ability to change prices at the gas pump much more, what can we say, sharply than many other things. So that's sort of why we were able to track it, and you could see the oil and gas companies bump and jump a little bit more. But Carlos, I don't think we're going to see a huge reaction to the market unless we get some more news, right? Like, coming into the weekend, if even us here in this room, right, we were speculating. I don't know that this 2-week ceasefire is going to last 2 weeks, and sure enough, it feels like, I mean, remember, they haven't officially announced that the ceasefire is over, but they have said that now the U.S. is going to blockade or close the Strait of Hormuz, which sort of implies that there's no ceasefire because the deal is off, but that hasn't explicitly been stated. Again, I think the markets are just going to wait and see. It makes sense to me they're sliding downwards a little bit, but we could see a recovery. So, like, right at the open, if you're an open trader, get ready. We could see a pop back up. Like, just get ready for anything. I think we'll have a good open. After that, unfortunately, I expect sort of a lot of sideways action. Again, there's a giant asterisk on that. That's assuming we don't get a very specific tweet, message, post, whatever, that once again changes the worldview.
Yep, absolutely. Welcome, Prenap. I can't tell what the break is, but Prenap Mohanty 7767. Welcome to the Lamberson coverage truck. We're very happy to have you in the family there. So welcome.
I'm laughing at some of the comments. Everybody's like, yeah, I'll raise your blockade with a blockade, and maybe China should start a third blockade. Now I'm picturing, wouldn't it be cool? They should put all the warships out there sort of at the mouth of the Gulf, and then just start playing like club music. People like one of those Carlos, where are those places in the US where they have the lakes? Utah somewhere, isn't it? Or where is it they have the lake where all the boats
go? We have I don't know, it's a big one. We have one here called the FCO. They blocked it. We used to come in with all the boats. They have it down in Miami too, right? Miami, they get together and just create all these boats with the parties. Yeah. I know exactly what you mean.
I think who's got the biggest speakers on their warship?
I know.
I think they should. They should just go out and have like a straight party. There you go. It's a straight party.
Speaking of boats and stuff, Peter, we had a great successul landing here.
Yes. Yeah. So Friday night, my wife and I actually watched this. We tuned it in, and we were watching them come down and splash down. I was very worried about their heat shield, to be honest, because it was untested. It was a new technology where they improved the heat shield from last time. This capsule came in at something like 4 times the speed of sound, and reached a temperature. They were expecting the hull to reach a temperature of 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit as it re-entered the atmosphere, but it landed safely. Astronauts are good. This is what they called I like it. This little floating platform you see on the left is called the front porch. So they had to go and attach the front porch to the
which, by the way, I believe they got to figure this out. This took way too long.
Yeah,
it took
that's the thing. My wife and I, we got bored.
This was a failure. Like, you failed in getting these guys out 100%. Like,
I mean, there's safety protocols and things they had to do, but there were helicopters and boats circling them for like 45 minutes before they managed to say
the helicopters were circling so long they had to go back to land so they don't waste the fuel. And that's what, and then after they got to the ports, they had to wait there. They got to figure it out, man. You can't. What's like an hour and a half? Come on, man. I almost fell asleep waiting for it. Way too long. Way too long.
Anyways, well, I mean, let's face it. NASA doesn't exactly do things for TV viewability. So I'm not sure
True,
that they're going
true.
to speed things up just to make it more TV worthy. But anyways, I'm glad that it was safe. It was pretty exciting to have done that. And it's funny, I wanted to do some research, just a random thing, since we're talking space here, because I was talking to my family about that. And I said, so that capsule, that is the capsule that they were in for 10 days, right? Like, it's not, there's no bigger ship that came off of. That's the thing. And as I was explaining, like, think about the nerve you have to be an astronaut these days, because Carlos, we were talking about this in the chat room the other day, and I think it was John had this awesome graphic where it actually showed the path and the calculations. Like so they did a couple of rotations of Earth, and then they shoot off into space, right, to go around the moon and come back. But by the time they leave the Earth's orbit, you're coasting, right? You're coasting, and you've got to be grabbed by the gravity of the moon to slingshot around and get yourself back to Earth. Like, they had to do all of these calculations to figure that out. And there's no engines on this thing. If you miss, you're just keep going into space forever, right? Like, you're going to be these little like astronaut corpses going off into like the middle of nowhere. But I know, you just think about the guts, especially Ben, if you look out, because my daughter was saying, well, why aren't there any videos? Why didn't they have videos of, like, show out the window and let's see the Earth as a video? And she's like, maybe it was a hoax. Like, well, there's nothing to video, because I think it's all just black space. That's all you can see really out of the portal, for the most part. And like, again, you're not shooting at the moon. You're shooting to where the moon's going to be by the time you get there, like 4 days from now. So, like, you're literally heading into Nowheresville, and you hope that at some point the moon just shows up, and that back home they got the math all right. Anyways, it's pretty amazing when you sort of think about the technology. It's not like, sci-fi where they've got big ships with engines and, we're doing interplanetary space travel and they can adjust. There's no adjusting. They either got the trajectory right or they didn't. And if they didn't, you're out of luck. There's very little you can do. You can maneuver in a minor way, but not by much. Anyways, it's crazy when you really think about what we're doing. So very impressive. So anyways, thank goodness they're back safe. Very happy for that. I was very excited by that. And it does set up well for, again, the space stuff we're expecting later this year. Again, with SpaceX going public, that's going to be big. Guys, you can watch space stocks in the market, right? We do have a number of them that are actively trading, whether it's Rocket Labs or Intuitive Machines. Lunar, LUNR is their ticker. There are, plus of course, a million ETFs out there. Everybody seems to want to capitalize on this. So, there are a number of space stocks you can take advantage of. ASTS, Space Mobile, right? That's another one. So I think it's pretty it's an exciting times, and we'll see what happens. This was Artemis 2, I guess, and don't forget they're planning Artemis 3 and 4 already, where Artemis 3 I think was going to practice landing modules. They're going to make sure the landing modules work, and then Artemis 4 is the big one where they're actually going to land humans back on the moon again, for the first time in a very long time. So that should be again exciting times, again, assuming of course that they continue to have the budget for this, because the Trump administration was announcing that they were cutting NASA's budget fairly significantly, actually, in part to try and fund their war effort, because they need trillions of more dollars to fund all this war activity. But I think they were targeting everything like non-moon exploration activities in NASA. So pretty much everything else. So we'll see what happens. But
all right. See what takes place there. All right, friends. So we pretty much cover our gap up list. I do have PLTR. I came off with that one. I do like that one. The rest are okay. You do have RVMD, which is, we'll see. It's very interesting. The way it's moving today, 172 million shares float, up 37%. So we'll keep an eye on that. And let's see what's gapping down this morning. Let's start with a couple of first ones here, and then we'll hop over to some of the ones that might be better for our list. ABVX this morning, we are down 4%. This doesn't look that good. Daily action, not a whole lot of volume throughout the intraday, for the most part. 2.3 is the most I see here, which is not a lot for a stock of this price. So I'm concerned you're not going to get the volume. Float on this one is 58 million. So also a little bit on the lower side, not a low flow. Usually I consider anything above 50,000 okay. 50 million okay. This is 58 million, so it's borderline. it's a hit or miss, but the volume is really not there, and I just don't think they're going to get any better. Peter, I'm not sure if you have anything to add on this one, but will not be on my list this morning.
No, and this is actually a French biotech. Here I am in France. I guess I'll go check them out a little bit later. It's French news. I'll go see why they're dropping, but I don't see any real news on it. There is a bunch of option activity on it that looks a little unusual, but no real news. So they are supposed to have a phase 3 drug trial, but I don't see results from that. So maybe somebody knows something. We'll do some investigative reporting here in Paris a little bit later.
All right, you got it. Let's see what else we have here, friends. CCL is on deck this morning. American Airlines also down as well, slightly, probably all because of the oil situation here. CCL, it is down 3.9, 486,000 shares traded. American Airlines also down slightly here, 2.7. It has moved up pretty nice from the recent lows there, though. But down slightly as things might get a little more delayed than everybody planned just from 4 trading days ago. So I don't think they're heavily in play, Peter. I'm not going to have them on my list. I don't think they're really going to trade well. They're just down with the overall market this morning. I don't think they'll be worth on the list today.
No, look, airlines and cruise lines are some of the more sensitive industries to oil prices. Obviously, as huge consumers of oil or gas and diesel, and they got to power those ships. It's a shame that we don't yet have private nuclear, because that would be so much more efficient. Think of the lowered demand in oil if we could do that. But anyways, that's maybe that's coming. Oklo, come on, get busy, man.
Yeah, get it done, man.
Anyways,
get it done.
Yeah. So, but for the time being, they're very beholden on oil. When oil prices move or expected to move significantly, we're seeing the airlines and the cruise lines react. So Carnival, Carnival Cruise Lines price jumped up last week on the anticipation that oil prices might reduce a little bit. And they might be able to secure some long-term contracts at less than was anticipated. It's just down again from the high that it popped up, only giving up about half of the gains that it had made on the anticipation that it's not going to be as lucrative, right? And then oil prices are going to continue to be high, or maybe even go higher over the next little while. Now, keep in mind, the way they negotiate the price of gas and oil for Carnival and the airlines is very different than us going to the pump, right? They don't show up to the pump and say, "Hey, can you top her up?
Fill it up
on the Jewel of the Seas," or whatever the heck their ship is, right? I need 8,000 liter or gallons, please. Can you just top it up there? So they buy very differently, so it's a little bit of a different model, but again, still sensitive to the prices. That would be cool, though, wouldn't it? Imagine, I'd like to see that one day, like just a cruise ship coming up to one of those little wharf, gas pumps that you get when you're trying to fill your boat, and say, "Hey, can you just top me up here?"
Yeah, I agree.
I don't even know how they do that. I don't think I've ever seen a video or a picture of a cruise ship refueling.
I'm sure it's on YouTube. You're gonna make me look that up later, but I'm sure it's got to be. I'm gonna search that.
I'm gonna have to, because that feels like something that it's got to be. Yeah. I mean, it's probably just a giant hose, right? And it probably doesn't look like anything exciting, but I just never seen it. So, anyways, all right, we digress.
All right. All right, friends. What else we have here? So we have CCL. We have things moving around a little bit. We have some Bitcoin stuff here. CLSK. We have Mara, BMNR, MSTR. So we got a couple of those here this morning. I stopped trading these a long time ago. They have not really caught my attention here. I'm sure there's some opportunities if you're watching them on a regular basis, but for me personally, I just don't look at them anymore. MSTR used to be one that could move quite a bit, but they just don't make my list. So I'm not interested in them, Peter. I'm going to skip on them. If you like them this morning, you can watch them on your end. But Peter, what's your thoughts on them and anything happening there?
Yeah, MSTR's one that I don't know. I haven't always, it's been on our list for feels like forever now, Carlos. So before they changed name, after they changed name. Remember when they used to be MicroStrategy? Now they're just Strategy.
Right.
Strategy got an upgrade. Anyways,
Strategy sounds so much better though. So
I guess so,
micro's
yeah.
like, hey, you thinking small strategy? I want big strategy. I want macro
Well,
strategy. You
I
know,
think
like yeah,
their strategies changed. We'll put it that
yeah.
way. So, in any event, I mean, Microsoft hasn't changed. They're still
That's
micro,
true. Yeah, but
but
yeah, that's true.
we don't think of it as two words, do we? Microsoft is
No,
just a thing now, as
yeah.
opposed to Microsoft, which has all sorts
I
of.
didn't even think of it like that. You're 100% right until you mentioned
There
it
you
now.
go. Anyways, all right. Never mind about the connotations on that. Let's move on. But yeah, so Strategy Inc. here. I don't really see any news. Keep in mind these guys did invest heavily in a Bitcoin treasury type strategy a little while ago. That was one of their strategic changes. And with crypto prices, just staying stable, it keeps their stock stable. They really haven't gone anywhere. I'm looking this morning. Bitcoin sitting at $71,129 right at the moment. Oh no, now it's 71,134. I love how this thing, like the spread on this is like $4 or $5 deep, right? Like it's anyways, but it's a $71,000 commodity, so I guess that's maybe not unreasonable. But it hasn't gone anywhere, Carlos. If I look at, I mean, this is almost the exact same price. Well, not almost. It is exactly the same price we were at a month ago. And
Yeah.
and it's down. Like if you go back more than that, back at the beginning of 2026 we were sitting at 88,000. Back at the end of 2025, or maybe I should say October 2025, we were up at 122, which was the high. So we certainly have dropped in price on crypto, but it feels like it's just been very boring. We haven't had anything to talk about on crypto in
Yeah.
months now, really, because it hasn't done anything interesting. So I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. I mean, crypto probably doesn't like to be out of that conversation. I noticed that it's becoming more of a casual butt of jokes. Like if you want to lose money, invest in crypto. It's one of those like crypto. You can live in your parents' basement and buy crypto. And I don't know. I just
Yeah.
feel that it's people are more comfortable mocking it now that it hasn't gone anywhere, which is probably not good for it long term. But in the short term, I mean, it doesn't hurt it too much. I mean, people make fun of all sorts of things, and then
Yeah. Yeah.
live to
And
regret it
this
when it
thing
pays
in
off.
the business that they're getting in, they're still fairly young. Like what they're trying to do,
Yeah,
compared to like the currency. I mean, this is just at the beginning stages, I believe, right? As far as it's going to work or not. So, whether it's going to be valuable or that's a whole different story. But what they're trying to do, I think they're still very early
well,
on here. So we'll see.
yeah.
We'll
And
see.
it was interesting when I thought they were going to get a boost. Remember, Iran said they were going to be charging that $1 a gallon tariff to anybody
Yep.
going through the strait, and they want it paid in Bitcoin. So I
Yep.
thought that would give a boost, but frankly, Bitcoin prices did not move. I mean, it's not like they saw transactions; it was more about the marketing value of that, but that didn't seem to catch whatsoever. So I don't know. I mean, it's boring. Bottom line. So MicroStrategy, it's boring, like crypto's been boring.
Yeah, I could not agree with you more on that. It's just not good, and that goes for Mara and some other ones on here. They're just not great. All right, let's go to the last one. Then we'll look at some of the stuff you guys are mentioning here. NBIS. This one is we've seen it. Yeah, this has been pretty
Last
hot, guys.
week, oh
So
yeah,
yeah,
last week we
last
were
week
watching.
it took off here. You guys called it a few times, and look at that, over to 141. And again, they have a lot going on with the deal with Meta, Google. I mean, it's just they're all over the place, partnering up on these data centers. So they're doing very well this morning. They opened a new data center. Well, plans to open a new data center was announced maybe a week and a half ago. So they're driving on that news. Just a lot of good stuff happening there with the AI story continues to again dominate the market. Let's see if people are making money though. When these earnings come out, let's see.
Yeah.
Are people making money, or are we just going to be announcing how much we continue to spend with a B all over the place here? So we'll see. I like it. I think pre-market action though, it's not great though. It's not doing a whole lot. The volume is there, but it looks very. What is this? It just looks very algo-ish like here.
Yeah,
So
it's a little sluggish, the movement
yeah,
here today.
yeah,
Last week we were talking about it because it was popping up and it was moving. I think the fun's over. I mean, as much as it hit a high, I think it hit an all-time high on Friday. It didn't really hold it. It sort of hit that high and then bounced off of it, and because it was trying to get through this $150 level, and it got close, but it never broke it. Actually, it got to, what is the high here? 149.82. And we were watching this, and actually, John, I got to give John Hiltz in the Bearable Traders chat room a shout out. He was calling it, and he said, "Well, here's what I typically see on these. Here's what I'm watching," and he called it. I mean, it did exactly what he was anticipating. But yeah, this thing was unable to break that 150, despite all the orders sitting there. So. We could go and take it out at any point in time, but today doesn't feel like the day. Not with the markets looking a little sluggish. I mean, if at the open everything turns around, this might be worth watching if. So here's the two big ifs. If the market turns around and starts to gun higher, and we see lots of volume pushing that, then we could see NBS along for the ride. And if it breaks that 150, it could be actually a fun stock to trade. I just don't think both of those things are going to happen, but we'll see.
Yeah, I like what it has done last week, so I will put it on a secondary just to see if there's any action on it. We have the space today, but there's not a whole lot that's taking place, so we'll put it on there on the secondary list, and we'll see how that trades. All right, let's continue here. Actually, I think that kind of does it for me here, friends. So yeah, I don't see anything else. Circle of Infinite, maybe. We'll look at it quickly. Let's take a look. It's not really doing anything. Yeah, I don't like it as much. Starting to get some volume going now. Let's see how it looks in a few more minutes here. Peter, as far as you go, anything you like this morning, either on the gap up or down, that we have not covered yet?
We haven't talked about some of the old standbys. We have to. So the whole semiconductor sector, we haven't even talked about them today. I mean, last week we saw some great movement, but not from the usual suspects. It wasn't NVIDIA that was fun. It was oddly Micron and Intel had a day, and it was sort of weird for me to have a couple of those that were the ones that we wanted to keep an eye on. So this week I'm not even sure which ones to watch. Even AMD had a decent trading, two decent trading days last week, at least while I was here. One on Friday, and then it had that sort of weird day on Wednesday where it was like up and down. And anyway, so yeah, I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be watching AMD. I'm going to be watching NVIDIA because I always do. I think I'm going to keep an eye on Micron just because I don't know which of these three is going to be in play today. I don't normally count on Intel to move, but if it does and people call it out in the chat room or here in the comments on YouTube, I'll be watching. So that's that whole sector. The other one is, of course, Tesla. We already talked about PLTR. It's a steady mover. Tesla is one of the ones that normally gives us good price action, but oh my God, last week was rough on it, wasn't it? Like, geez, like Tesla, just look at, go back and remind yourself, look at the 5-minute chart, the open on Tesla yesterday, or on Friday, I mean, and, just remind yourself how disgustingly ugly that was. So, Tesla's one that while I'm going to sort of still pay attention to it, you got to be like, I'm only going to wait for bigger moves later in the day, not the open stuff. I don't think, because I don't want to get caught in that. Look at that. Look how that just looks disgusting to me. That is horrible. So, and having, watched it live, it was that ugly. So just be careful with Tesla. We'll see where it goes, but I'll be keeping an eye on it. Other than that, Carlos, we've got all of the rest of the Magnificent Seven. Who knows where they go? Remember, Netflix earnings later this week. That'll be Thursday after the close. Netflix might be a little quiet heading to that. It's tough to tell. It's good to see them back over $100. So I like that, but I don't anticipate a whole lot of movement. And then last week we had a bunch of news on Meta, so that got them moving. It might keep them quiet this week. We'll just have to see. So that's about it. Nothing unusual out of that. It's all the usual suspects. It's a wait and see. I feel, right. We're waiting for either news on the war. What does it actually mean? What does it mean for the U.S. to blockade the strait? Because there's not much to blockade because there's no ships coming out of it. So I guess they're basically saying if Iran decides to let a ship through, what, the U.S. is going to stop it, and then what? And just hold them there? I'm not sure. Anyways, it's unclear as to exactly what they're blockading the blockade. But we'll find out as time goes on exactly what that means and how it affects the markets here. So stay tuned, you guys. Just again, be careful out there, whatever you're doing. This market's going to be very sensitive to news, as it has been for weeks, and today's not going to be any different.
Yeah. Let's see how it goes, man. I have a feeling we're going to get a lot of chop, even after 10 a.m. today. I think we're gonna get a lot of chop. And 10 a.m.
I think
is what is it 10? What's the time difference over there? It's evening probably, or it's afternoon.
6 hours.
Oh, that's not
6
that
or
bad.
7 hours.
That's not that bad. All right, so
Probably.
we'll see.
Actually, I don't know. I don't know. It might be more because they're farther.
Yeah.
They're farther east there. I mean, I suppose it depends where over there is that you're asking about. You know, there's no.
Well, it's Iranian
Hormuz
time frame, right? Whatever.
Must have a time zone.
Yeah, it's got to have it. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. I just hope
Anyways.
it's not chopped, but we'll be ready for it.
So, 4 p.m. So it's five. Oh, weird. 5.5 hours. Looks like they're. I mean, sorry. It's 7.5 hours ahead. That's strange.
Yeah, there's some countries that do that, man. They got the half and the lines between. It's just very weird the way they do that. But all right. So yeah, friends, I only have PLTR. I'm gonna add some stuff here. Let's take a look at what you guys have this morning. RVMD. I do have this one on deck. It's not doing anything though. I expected a lot more. It was trading very well when we looked at it earlier this morning. We had some movement here. Now it's not doing anything. I mean, it is still up 38%. It is not a low flow stock, 1.9 million. So let's see if the market open things kick on. But it's gone pretty flat as far as movement in the pre-market. But I have it on here in my secondary. I do have the space to have it on a primary, so I might move it up. But let's see what happens here. You guys mentioned CoreWeave earlier on today. Let's take a look at CRWV, up 2.8 this morning. Had a great day on a Friday, if you guys remember that. Beautiful pre-market action, and then took off at the market open. So might be trying to go for another run today as well. Look at the pre-market already, 1.3 million shares traded. Yeah, I think it's worth watching this. I'm gonna add this as well. We'll put it right on here. CRWV. Thank you for that one. A few of you guys mentioned that, so Greg and anybody else who mentioned it, thank you for that. Let's take a look at MRVL. MRVL continues higher, guys. Up another 3.4. We talked a lot about this last week, and they've just been higher and higher here. I'm not a huge fan of the way they trade, but I gotta say though, the way they keep moving here might be worth taking a look at if you have the space. Definitely add it on there. I'm on the fence with the add here or not, so I'm gonna leave it off for now, and we can always come back to it. I will look at Tesla. As Peter mentioned this yesterday, again, they finally seem to have found some support here on the daily. They've been nothing but down, getting some support around 340. Let's see if that's gonna hold. I'm gonna add this here with the reminder that again, market open could be just brutal. And of course, how can we not forget our good buddy, for me at least, MU has been treating us very, very nice. So I will add that on the list. With MU, obviously we'll keep an eye on Meta and the other players in this area. NVDA, AMD had a blockbuster day on Friday, if you guys remember that. Andrew took amazing advantage of this early breakout trades here, so we'll look at that as well. I'm sure you guys will be keeping a close eye on that one. So NBIS looks like it's starting to get some volume and moving here. So yeah, look at that. NBIS getting a little pop here this morning. Oh man, do I have that on the list? I do not. I do. Secondary. I might move that up as well. All right, excellent, friends. With that, let's head over to bearwithtraders.com, where you can see what's always happening here in our community. You can always get our schedule, click on webinars, and see what's taking place in the next couple of days. Today is beautiful Monday as we kick off this week. Yes, and Peter's gonna let you know how we go about that.
Well, yeah, it's Monday, which means that we like to focus on welcoming our new members and making sure that they can get onboarded in a way that makes sense. So we've got the onboarding session that happens at 8 o'clock tonight for all of our new members. That's in the onboarding room, and it's for all membership classes, whether you join with the intro offer or you join with a longer-term membership. You can join that onboarding class. Carlos leads that. It's at 8 p.m., so 4 hours after the market close, and it's a great way to understand sort of how do I navigate through all of the offerings that we've got there. How do I make most of my membership, and you know, how do I sort of trade effectively? We'll talk about sort of how to get started on trading. So yeah, join if you're brand new, or if maybe you want to help others get themselves oriented, say hi to the new folk. We'd appreciate that. That's at 8. And if you want to join, now's a great time, right? Because if you join right now, you can then join that onboarding tonight. So just go to bearwithtraders.com, scroll down, and you can see the different membership options, whether you try the intro or you come with a longer term membership. We'd love to welcome you into the chat room. So there you go. Carlos, I did look up some videos of refueling, and yeah, they basically have big refueling ships that come up and pump gas into them. So it's
Oh,
not unexpected. So that's how cruise lines refuel. So big
oh, well, there you go.
ships that come up and bring them fuel. So I guess that makes sense. They
Okay,
don't have
that
gas
makes
stations.
sense.
I thought maybe they'd have like on gas stations they go to, but I guess not. They get it shipped by tanker
Well,
right
I'll
from
figure right on the
refinery.
dock as they're docking people. They're
Yeah,
fueling up from the dock, but I guess a
but
ship comes over and
it makes sense. It's probably being shipped by ship in that quantity anyway. So instead of like then putting it into a
yeah,
holding tank on the dock, they just take it right off the ship. So
that makes sense. One less step. That makes
yeah,
perfect sense.
exactly. Anyways, I'm gonna give a shout out here to my hockey team, the Ottawa Senators, that secured a playoff spot for the NHL playoffs, which will be starting in just a couple of weeks here. We're in the last couple of games of the season, so it's time for them to. They were stepping up. They've been playing extraordinarily well, and have earned all sorts of points to get themselves into the playoffs. So that's very exciting for me for this weekend.
Nice.
And maybe we could talk about why am I here in Paris? Remember here I am.
Yeah, you are
Here
in
I am in
Paris.
Paris.
What's going on in Paris?
Well, I'm getting. I said I have some shopping to do. And Carlos, maybe you can put up the picture of the thing that I'm looking to buy. I'm here to go shopping for some stairs.
Is that? I was wondering what the heck is Peter doing with this, but yeah, break it down for us.
Yeah. Well,
You're
so
buying this.
for the first time, yeah, I'm going to put a bid in. Why not? I'm going to buy this. This is the set of stairs, 14 stairs. This is part of the original staircase. It was at level 2. It was at the second floor of the stairs, but it's a piece of the staircase that was originally on the Eiffel Tower before they put in the elevators that you used to climb it. So the Eiffel Tower was built in 1883 or 1889. I forget which one it was. It was one of those. Anyways, and yeah, if you want an original piece of stairs, then you can buy it. It's going up for auction later today, so it should be exciting. Interestingly, they think it's going to fetch between 120 and 150,000 euros. That being said, the last time they sold a piece of stairs, it went for 523,000 euros. So that's I think that it may be more expensive than I was hoping for. So there you go. I'm not sure how. I don't think they'll let me check that on the flight on the way back home. So I'm probably gonna have to figure out how to ship that home. But
shipping is probably going to cost more than the actual purchase.
yeah, maybe. So
oh
I'll
man.
need
Yeah.
So there you go. Anyways, I just thought that was a random piece of interesting news. The fact that they're auctioning some stairs from the original Eiffel Tower. Why they still had this, I don't know. They found it in like a storeroom somewhere and said, you know what, let's paint it up. And I bet you we can sell this thing. And sure enough, why not? They'll sell it. They could make some money for the next coat of paint on the Eiffel Tower, which is quite iconic, of course. Been through a couple of world wars. It's probably more people have proposed on the Eiffel Tower and gotten divorced. I would argue than anywhere else in the world. It's quite iconic one way or the other. So
sure is.
There you go. So if you want to bid against me, you can join me here in Paris for this auction, and but don't bid it up too high. I want to see. I'd like to put it behind me here. See if I can get it for you guys and put it here.
It's a great conversation piece to have it.
Yeah.
Actually in your penthouse and say, hey, yeah, this is actually you're walking on part of the, Eiffel Tower's stairs. Yeah, could see that.
Eiffel Tower.
Yeah,
why not?
could see that.
There you go. Anyways, all right, I'll work on
all
it.
right.
I have to get the penthouse.
Yeah, there you go. All right, friends. We're all set. I got my watches. PLTR. I got PLTR. I got CoreWeave. I got Tesla. I got MU. RV. MD. I got NBIS, and I got Goldman Sachs. So that's it for me. Again, not a blockbuster list. We got a couple here that are starting to move pretty well.
No.
But not really a big list. So let's get some levels in. We'll tell you what our team is watching over on the chat room, and then we'll get this party started, friends. So hopefully we'll have a great trading day. But I don't know, man. I'm feeling a lot of choppiness. Hopefully I'm wrong. I want to be very, very wrong today. when it comes to that. 133.04 is the high of the pre-market, and the low is going to be sitting down at 128.51. Actually, right at 128.51, if you come down here, you can see you got the highs from Friday, the lows from Thursday, the previous day close. So it's really not much you got to add there. You got plenty of levels on there this morning. You're pretty set. If we go to the left, you can see you got the big support happening here. Last time we had these 3 days in a row towards the downside. That is where we found support, and we tested it over and over again, and we're doing it again one more time. Last week we did punch through it. I mean, PLTR is having a really tough time. We did punch through, but we're back above this area. So again, this level where the previous day close is a big level for PLTR, especially if it can actually hold it. If it drops below that, it can also be very interesting. That means there's a lot of weakness on this stock, and we'll see how that is going to look when the heavy volume comes in at the bell. 143.85 looks good in case we go to the upside this morning. And then you also have another level on here, which is a big one, 136.95. You draw a line across that. Let me zoom in a little bit more, help you see a little bit better. If you zoom in there, you got a nice area of support and resistance, back and forth, back and forth. More support here, so you definitely want to have that there just in case we do go above that high of the pre-market this morning. CRWB is also started to move here a little bit. We are up 2.7, some good volume. Low of the pre-market sitting at 158 cents. The high is a 105.04. 105.04 is the high of the pre-market there. Towards the bottom, a lot of levels are covered, especially down here where we came out of on Friday. We did miss this area though, which has plenty of touches here. So I'm gonna put it right around, it's an area, so again, I'm not gonna be exact, but it's gonna be right around 98, 94. Plenty of stuff happening there, a lot of touch. I think it's worth having that level set there. So towards the top, in case we do break out, we got a couple of areas here. We have 106.52, and clearly up here 108.46 looks great for CoreWeave. Tesla this morning trying to find some support. Finally, not up, still in the red today. 345.35 is the low of the pre-market. The high just below the previous day close at 348.60. Once you do that, guys, you're surrounded by so many levels here. Again, the big level is this support area we're getting here. Tesla has been just down. I saw the headline about FSD supervised driving over in Netherlands, but again, I don't think that really does a big deal for Tesla. They got to do more. Got to do more than that. So I don't think that's really going to move the price a whole lot. But it's good for them for later in the future if they can get more sales. All right, let's see what else we have here. MU friends, right now pretty quiet. We are down 1.1 on it. The low of the pre-market pretty much with the low from Friday's action right there, so that's marked for you. I am going to mark the high of the pre-market at 446 right here, 416.46. Let me correct that. And then above the highs and lows for the last 2 trading days got you pretty much covered. Above that, in case we do move higher, we do have an area right over here at 428.90, and then up here over at 436.40 is the level you want to have on MU. And then once you do that, friends, we are set. That is my list right now. Pretty small list. PLTR, CoreWeave, Tesla, and MU. And again, not blockbuster at all. So let's see what our friends are having over on the chat room. Peter, let us know what the team is watching there. Oh, Peter, you're on mute.
You're right. I absolutely am on mute. So our friends in the chat are starting to get their list together. I see Andrew and Brian are both live. We'll start with their lists. Start with have I got Brian's? I don't even see Brian's here. Let's start with Andrew then. Andrew's going to be watching AMD, Tesla, and PLTR, and how could he not watch AMD after the great day he had on Friday? Eamon has got his list. He's going to be watching AMD, PLTR, and Intel. Brendan is going to be watching PLTR, NVIDIA, Amazon, Marvell, MRVL, and Tesla. Mike is going to be watching Tesla and the scanners, as he always does. And Gary is going to be looking at Meta, NVIDIA, Apple, AAPL, and PLTR. Paris is going to be watching Tesla, as he always does. And Jared's got his list. Looks like he's going to be watching AAOI. That's an interesting one that we haven't talked about this morning. That did have some movement last week, but I don't know. It seems iffy as to whether it's going to move today. And Brian, he's got sort of the usual culprits in there: Tesla, NVIDIA, AMD, PLTR. So there you go, guys. Like I've mentioned earlier, I'm going to be watching Goldman Sachs. I'll keep an eye on that. Carlos, you mentioned CoreWeave. I'll put it. I've got some room here because I don't have a lot to watch. I'm going to stick the basics. Really, I'm going to be focused on AMD, NVIDIA and Micron from the semiconductor sector, because I don't know which of these, if any, are going to move. I'm going to watch Tesla at the open, just because it normally moves. It can move a little bit at the open. Remember how ugly and choppy it has been for the last few days. So I'm going to be very, very cautious on that. And other than that, frankly, I think if I'm going to get a trade, it's going to happen after the opening 20 minutes. But we'll see. I'm keeping an open mind, but I do anticipate chop. So, keep in mind, everybody, when you're trading on a day like this, right, and we don't have a strong directional bias or theory, that means that you've got to get ready for chop. And so you got to be a little bit more cautious about the trades you take. You've got to, understand that if you get in, you might get chopped out, and to accept that. It also means that you could miss the big move, because I will tell you, when the big moves happen, if they happen, but when they happen, they are indistinguishable from the chop until they happen, right? So you can't tell. Most of the time, it's not like they give you this massive signal and they say, now we're going to run. It looks like the chop that we just saw in the last couple of minutes or the last few candles, and then suddenly it moves. So you almost have to wait for it to get out of the chop zone and then accept that you're going to either get in late or miss the move altogether. That is the reality, Carlos. You and I have been there so many times. We've seen it where, you can go chasing this chop and just get cut up and cut up and cut up. And then finally it moves and you're like, dang, just finally when I gave up, right, is when it decided to move. It can be really tough to tell. So just know that might happen. And if you miss the move, then so be it. You missed the move. There will be another day. There'll be another opportunity. Don't make it, put you into a mode where you're revenge trading or you're doing something foolish. Trade smart, whatever you do.
Yep, 100%. All right, friends, we're ready. We're ready for whatever the market brings here. Just a little bit over 2 minutes for the market open. We are set to go. So let's see what happens. See what happens.
I'm gonna get back before the open. I'll be right back. So.
Yeah, go for it, Peter. No worries. All right, let's see what takes place here, friends. All right. Me too, Mike. We were late today. I had to do 3 or 4 restarts because my computer would just not connect properly, and we started the show late. It's like my computer knew it was a Monday. It knew it was a Monday today. Good morning, Pre-Rack. Good to see you. Yama, Spies climbing. Yeah, Spies actually putting a nice run in the last couple of, since 8 a.m. Really putting a nice run here. So that's going to affect some tickers. Look at Tesla. Hey, what's going on, Tesla? CRWV, PLTR. So yeah, let's hope I'm wrong. We get some good movement. RVMD, as we mentioned earlier, this is good here. MBIS. Good morning to you, Iker Rokang. Frank, good morning. Robert, good morning. All right. Basta Javik, good day from Slovenia. Nice, man. Nice. Welcome. All right, 30 seconds, friends. Let's set up here. MU. Who else my top? Let's look at Tesla today. Tesla's gonna be front and center. See what's going on here. We'll get the Atlas going, and we'll get rocking and rolling here. Wow. Tesla's doing all the action now. Why can you not wait into the bell so we could take advantage of this? All right, here's the bell, friends. Here it is. Let's go. All right, Tesla getting some nice volume here. CRWV pop and then drop.
All right.
MBIS keeps flashing red and green here for me. So going red, going green. All right, Peter's back.
I'm back. Trying to see where we're gonna go here.
Let me update these things here. All right, PLTR. Yeah, I don't know. Gonna wait. Gonna definitely wait 5 minutes today, guys, because I don't feel. I got a good feel for what's taking place. So waiting 5 minutes. Let's see what looks good. Just gonna look for 5 minute ORB and then wait for a view at break. I won't be looking for a 1 minute ORB today. As far as an engulfing setup, so we'll leave that to the side for now.
I'm short bias on NVIDIA, but it was just pushing
Yeah.
higher here at 186. It's the Atlas definitely looks loaded to the downside, but it's definitely holding this 186 level in the short term. So
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know
weird. It's
where
got like an
we're going.
engulfing pattern to the upside too, above the VWAP, but it's got these spikes up here where to me I read that as selling pressure. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Yeah, Mike, I'm with you. Waiting 5 minutes, guys. It's just let things settle down. I just think it's a little bit messy. At least that's what I'm doing, right? If you have a strategy where everything looks good, everything hits your signals, hit the key, get into your trade, execute the plan. But I'm gonna wait. CoreWeave doing some stuff, getting above their pre-market highs, up and down, up and down. So this is some big. What's the spread on this thing? 15 cents at times. 13 seems to be bouncing a lot, quite a bit. Oh wow, look at that. 25-cent spread in some cases. Be careful with CoreWeave if you're gonna trade it, because the spread is jumping a lot. Hence why it's causing this weird up and down price action. You see these drops and pops. So careful there. And yeah, I see NVIDIA engulfing, but I'm gonna wait 5 minutes. Yeah, I see that. It did engulf here. I gotta tell you, this doesn't look pretty. Even long, this does not look pretty right now. You might be in the green, but it looks messy. Let's see if it can hold if you are long on this thing. There it is. That's nice pop.
That's how quickly it can reverse, though.
Yeah, no, you got to be careful. It's messy, man. It is messy.
Okay, I'm still I was
You don't believe the long. You don't believe the long on
No, I
Nvidia, do
don't.
you?
I don't, but it definitely doesn't look short. So that's why I'm
Yeah.
having to stay my hand here
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just wait and see, because the market is. I don't know what the market's doing. I mean, the market was pushing up into the open, but hasn't gone anywhere since the opening bell. So
Yeah.
we're 4 minutes in now. And,
Wow, look at Intel, guys. Yeah, I'm seeing it now. You guys are calling it out. Did not have this on my list, but yeah, Intel continues to trade somewhat well. I think it did the same thing last week, right? Where it was, it traded well last week also.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had a good open as well. All right, so here we are. Intel having a really nice, nice pop here, guys. Inter is going from the stock that doesn't move to like $2 at the market open. Like this is yeah, because you never got $2 on Intel before. Now it's like becoming the norm. Or am I bugging? Am I bugging here? Like I feel like we never had those big moves with Intel.
Not normally, no.
Right? So yeah, I might start watching this a little more closely. Like something clearly in this month, something's clearly turning around for Intel. So very nice. Alex Ban, it sure is. Exactly. The $2 move on Intel is like a whole day move. That's like you waited an entire day for two move. We're getting that in 5 minutes of the market open. That's pretty impressive, actually. That is really nice. All right, guys, here it is. We're in the 5 minute already, going into 6. I'm looking at MU and just trying to figure out where is the play here. MU going below the V. I will put in a nice 5 minute engulfing. I will like that here, but now it's looking pretty long. It just looks choppy right now, though.
I did take a quick short on NVIDIA, got out of break even. I'm short again on NVIDIA.
All right.
And looking to take a partial at VWAP if we can get there. Again, I'm going to stop at break even because I'm just playing around with it a little bit. Because again, I don't believe the move higher. The level 2 is showing some weakness back down to 186, but it's got some support here, so it's tough to.
Well, you might be getting your move here now, Peter. This thing is let's see there. Come on. Stop playing
my
games.
entry is a little worse now than it was initially, so come on. Let's get the move down to VWAP. I'll take a partial if we get to VWAP, otherwise stop at break even, which is 186.38 for me. Oh, there we go. And it just came up and stopped me out of break even again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not getting the move down. I mean, I'm not getting hurt on this. I have 2 stops at break even now, so that's okay. But yeah, it's just not cooperating. I said I didn't trust the NVIDIA move higher, but it's also not breaking down. So I again, it's one of those where I feel like I know I should give it a little more room, but I can't help but be risk adverse. And
yeah, I don't blame you with that. Because it's really now it's not trading well. Well, now it looks like it does want to go again, but it's tough here above the VO, holding on to that 9 moving average. But it does every time it moves down, it looks very weak for a setup.
Yeah.
Like here, it doesn't look.
Well, CoreWeave is moving higher. CoreWeave's at 108.
Yeah, right man, this thing. Very nice. CoreWeave's doing well here, friends. Intel might bounce with 9 EMA. Anybody took Apple? What is Apple? We didn't even talk about Apple today, actually. Always asleep or doing his own thing. Here's Apple down 1.1. So they put in a nice short setup if you're able to take it. Nice pull back to the VWAP. This is your 5-minute break here. So that's not bad, actually. Not a bad 5-minute setup under 1 minute. Very light volume. So, but yeah, it looks okay. Let's see if it can run here. PLTR back above the VWAP. VWAP breakout potential here. The 5-minute looks very funky though. 5-minute setup looks very, very funky on PLTR. But the 1 minute looks great for a possible VWAP breakout. If this candle can hold and get back to 130.50, that could be a situation there. Nice, Nathan. You took Apple. Apple short, I assume. That's looking decent right now. Oh yeah, Apple wants to drop. What does Atlas say on Apple?
What does Atlas say? I've got it right here. Not much, actually. Not a lot of orders. Orders at 257 on Apple, but it's pretty pretty empty.
It's trading light. Yeah, it's trading light. Like you can even tell the charts are barely moving. But if I had to choose, I'll be short on this if I had to choose. Look at that, 255, excuse me, 257.50 starting to build up there a little bit. Then you got, like you said, 257 down here. Like there's nothing towards the top side. So if I'm choosing, if I'm a betting man, I'm betting short on this thing. But there is light volume though. The volume is very, very light, which the tricky part with that is that it could change very quickly, right, to the other direction, very, very quickly because there's not that much volume. So
Tesla,
let's see. Let's see.
Tesla looks. My goodness, what does the level 2 Atlas look like at Tesla? Tesla looks like it just wants to break here below, break red. Getting support here though. It can't seem to break through this level. Let's see what it does.
Tesla is very, very choppy, but I gotta say, it does look interesting for sure. Breaking the previous day close, the VWAP. I mean, it's choppy, but it does look like it might want to break down from here for 358.59. That would be a 5-minute ORB breakdown. Look at the 5-minute. Here's your 5-minute range. So right, you're breaking down from the 5-minute range, and also plenty of levels here that it might want to leave behind. So Atlas, on the other hand, though, looks very mixed. I can't tell on Atlas where's the big imbalance. Got orders to both sides here. Looks good lower. I'm gonna try a short. I'm short on Tesla here, friends. Let's see. Stop above the VWAP. See if we could break this 348.59. I should have waited to actually broke the 59. All right, so here it is. We're above the VWAP. See if the buyers come in. Sellers come in to push it down. Let's see. Level 2 is so balanced out, man. There's no imbalance on the level 2 at the moment. It can go both ways, long or short. Probably should have waited for a bigger imbalance to the downside.
I am short with you on this, Carlos. I
Yeah,
got in
you
a
think
little
so?
bit before
Yeah.
you had. I got
Okay.
in before you had, and my stop is 349.50. It doesn't look as good now as it did a minute ago.
Yeah,
In fact,
no,
this
it's
looks like it's
struggling,
gonna
man.
pop higher and stop me out here, which is unfortunate. But
Yeah, I'm gonna get out myself too.
I'm out. Yeah. So that didn't work out.
Okay, what are we gonna do? Yeah, I'm gonna get out. Gonna get out. Was hoping that it would kind of do a fake out and then head back to the previous day close, but it's not doing it. But you know what? It might not run. I don't like it as long either, because if I'm looking at this, it's all over the place. There's no imbalance at the moment. This is why you're getting this kind of situation. So I should have probably waited for a better setup. But man, every time I get this sell off like that, it looks like it wants to break that 348.59.
Yeah, the 345 had some orders. I was hoping that it would, have an interest in dropping a couple of dollars, but then it got support and it's up here. I mean, we said at the outset how choppy Tesla was over the last few days, and
I know. Why are we trading this thing?
yeah, that's as we say, not as we do.
Exactly. Oh boy. All right. Tesla, what do you want to do here? All right, let's keep looking. First trade, no good on Tesla here. MU. Yeah. Wow, MU did the engulfing pattern. I took my eyes off of it, and it had a great engulfing setup here. Nice view at breakdown with the pullback. I mean, you don't expect this move, but the engulfing was nice on MU below the VWAP. Entry around this area here. This is something I would have taken for sure. Like on this candle here. For sure. And it is at least paying out right now. At least 3 R's on it. Stop loss 417.
It's
So if you took this, anybody took this short? I took my eyes off it, but this is very classic drop here. Oh, look at MU. That is the move right there. That is the move you look for if you're in the VWAP, around the VWAP. Wow. And again, keep in mind, guys, take small size on this thing. This is a $6 move, right? So don't go taking a bunch of shares on it. You don't need to take a lot. You can literally take 100 shares, 50 shares if you're starting out, even less, and you can have a nice win on MU here. Look at this thing. Oh, that is so nice. Why do I look at anything else? I should look at MU every day. I don't know why I took my eyes off of it.
So
It's
Carlos,
just
I'm back short on NVIDIA as it's
you
breaking
are
below VWAP. We'll see if
Nvidia.
I really want that
Okay.
186 break. I see a bunch of orders sitting at 186. I'll take a partial if we when we get to here. We're almost there. Come on, there we go. I'm going to take that partial right now.
Nice.
So there you go. Now let's see if we can get a move to a low of day. No, it's come right back up here. So I got a partial and then I got stopped out at break even. So nothing's running for me yet
Nothing's
today.
running. Yeah, sucks, man. All right.
NVIDIA did that spike high and then it sold off sort of weak. So it looked like maybe it was going to run a lot lower, but yeah, not yet. Anyways.
Nvidia might still be a short. I know I stopped you out, but
I know it. I'm still watching it here. Even Tesla. Look at Tesla, how it pushed higher and then it did a hard move back to the
yeah.
previous day close, Friday's close. So I don't know. It's
okay.
everything's chop. We did warn about this, right?
Yeah,
You
we
got to
did
be
warn
careful.
about the choppiness. Yeah.
Yeah, careful about it being all choppy. That's unfortunately par for the course, so to speak, for today. So we expect it. The market's waiting on news.
Yeah. The setup on Nvidia, I gotta admit, I like the setup here for a VWAP breakdown. I'm gonna go short here. The stock doesn't move a whole lot, so you could take a little bit more than you would on MU. But let's see. Short here for the VWAP breakdown. Let's see if we can actually get to 185.50. I mean, this stock barely moves now. My goodness, every time I get in, it just goes the other way. Today is not my day, friends. The VWAP breakouts are not working out today. Great setup, like perfect situation here. We even have the Atlas showing us a little bit of bearish signal here, 186, and even just can't break through that. We cannot break through 186. Having a tough time. Every time we come here, this was Peter's order, Peter partial there. But every time we come here, it's just we're struggling to break through. I would love to break through that and then get down to 185.80. But we're having a tough time. Yeah. No, I don't think there's any new schedule. We do have some U.S. economic data, housing.
Housing sales,
NVIDIA.
home sales, existing home sales at 10. Yeah, and
Right,
not really a big
NVIDIA.
number there. So I don't. Oh, look at that pop higher in
I
NVIDIA.
know. I lost a lot more than what I wanted to there. Good thing it's something under $1. So NVIDIA doesn't move a lot like it used to anymore. Yeah, hold on. Let me bring that up. We do have. Here it is. Existing home sales at 10. Oh, in 11 minutes. But I doubt it's gonna move the market here. All right, friends. I'm 0 for 2 today. Nothing has hit. Let's go around and see what we got. NVIDIA. Lost about 80 cents on that one. That's not nice, NVIDIA. Apple. Goldman Sachs. Nothing. NBIS. Wow, NBIS gonna go for 150. I believe that is their all-time highs. Yes, it is. Yeah. NBIS guys putting in an all-time highs here at 150. There it goes, 150. It is just rocking. Look at the weekly here, man. What a week had last week, and this week is about to. Looks like it wants to put in another one, so that is trading very well. PLTR, yeah. This would have been a tough breakout too, right? Because we've been taking these that have not been working. So tough view at breakout. We just took one like that on Tesla and on Apple. NVIDIA, excuse me.
Wow, look
and
at
they
Tesla.
both failed. So
yeah, look at Tesla popping higher.
Look at this. Yeah,
market's
nice
moving
move.
higher. Did we get some news? Did we
I
get
think
some
so
news on these markets? Yeah, it looks like it.
So it looks like no more blockade, huh?
It's all Paris news today, Carlos. Two traders convicted in Paris over a $23 million insider trading deal.
Ouch.
I'm in the right place here today.
You
What
definitely are.
happened? All the
Give
news
us
is happening out of Paris today.
give us a lot the life stories of out of Paris.
Mm.
All right, let's see. Man, what a day! What a day. MU, nice reversal with the market change there. Tesla just took off in the direction. PLTR, same thing. A lot of things moving higher. Apple is still not even at the VWAP, so it did drop. It's just kind of not really enjoying the move higher like some of these tickers did, NVIDIA and some other ones. Market pulling back a little harder than probably people would expect. You guys see the news? SNDK. What is SNDK up to? You traded with 10 shares, Walden. That's probably the only way I would trade this thing too. You can see, man, it could blow you out of the water, man. Like 10 shares, yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not? You know? And this could move. It could really move in some cases $25 to $50. Like we've seen those moves on SNDK. So yeah, we're gonna trade it. Careful with the size. Also, it's a buying power hog too. 800 shares, 800 a price of 800. It'll tie up all your buying power with this thing if you take a big size. You don't want that. All right, little bit rough start to the week. Yeah, Ben, exactly. SNDK can rip your face off, no question. Tesla,
I am
who
short. I'm in short NVIDIA again.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I got short here at the high. I was watching for because it broke that 187, and then it was looking
Yeah.
really tentative here, and I saw the market moving down. I'm hoping to get a big move down all the way back down to VWAP. I did take a partial below 187. Once again, stop aggressively at break even, which happens to be 187.17. So don't stop me out. Come on, go down. You saucy little stock. There you go. And it came up and it hit me. It hit my stop again.
Oh man.
This thing just does not want to cooperate for me.
Yeah, tell me about it. Mondays are my worst trading day. I'm just gonna take off Mondays from now on. Mondays are my worst trading day. I probably shouldn't say that because then I'm speaking to assistants.
Well, you could say my stops are too tight, but look at what NVIDIA's doing now. So I'm pretty happy for that tight stop because that's the type of move I don't want to get caught in, right? New high of day, pops higher. Look at that. And it cleared out all of the orders. So, and now we've got orders at 188. So, yeah, it went from looking short bias based on the level 2 to very quickly all the orders got pulled and suddenly we're long bias on this thing now. So that's sometimes what happens. Look at Tesla. Ooh, Tesla's like putting in like a topping pattern here. A little early for a mountain pass type pattern, but Tesla looks like it, it topped, it retested right to the penny too. Or is it to
Yeah.
the penny? It's pretty close. What's going on here? Why don't I have
I think it's
283? Close.
it
It was within. It
looks
was
like
within a
right to the
penny.
penny. Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
right on
it
it,
was
man.
within a penny. It really was. So
Yeah. What's Intel up to? Intel halting its move higher. MU just messing around the VWAP here. CoreWeave continues to explode, friends. Look at this go up 8.5.
CoreWeave.
This was the trade of the day. There's no question. Oh man. Just blazing through dollars like it's nobody's business. Look at that. 111 coming up. No problem. There is no, not yet. 95. You can do it, CoreWeave. Where's our level 1?
You could do it. There it is. There it is. Just
There
took
it
some
is. It
orders
did
at
it.
111.
Yep. Just did it.
Yeah.
Man, wow. CoreWeave just doing amazing things. What's the news on CoreWeave, by the way, guys? Microsoft orders, please. I'm in long 372.
Yeah, I think they're still leveraging that news from last week with the big deal with Anthropic and the Meta people investing. I am short. I did take the short on Tesla once again. Tight stop to break even here, but
It's
we're
looking good here.
yeah. Come on, let's go down. Didn't get a great entry, but I am in at 70 cents to the good. Like to get $1. There you go. I'm $1 to the good. So taking a partial now.
Very nice. Very nice. Good trade, man. Good trade.
So you have to be like very persistent today.
Yeah. Yeah.
See if we can get a move down to VWAP. That would be good. We're at 352. No, now we're bouncing.
MBIS 154. Wow. That is explosive today, friends, as well. Up 5.8 this morning.
All right, NVDA here looks like it's sort of topping, but it still has orders at 188. So that's as much as I like to short things. NVIDIA is not yet the time. The market is also pushing higher here, so just went green on the Qs, and I just got stopped out of break even on the Tesla, so I came right back up to my break even. Yikes! Nothing doing today.
I know. Talking about it. Intel might be losing the VWAP here, at least trying. Andrew and Brian, EBSQ. Yeah, they're in chat. They're trading in chat. Looks like Andrew is long Tesla at 349 from earlier. And he's just I think near the previous day close. He's all the way in at the bottom here. Somewhere in this area.
Interesting. We're sitting at 188. Haven't taken out those orders. There we go. Now we finally took the orders at 188.
Which one?
NVIDIA.
That's NVIDIA. Yep.
Yeah.
Oracle. I see you guys mentioning Oracle. Let's see what is up to here on Oracle. Oh yeah. These tech companies, man. These tech companies, they own the world right now. Everything is tech. That's it.
Yeah.
Canada had a big impact on the modernization of AI. I was hearing some podcasts how they had a big hand in what you see now as modern AI and uh, machine learning. So,
Oh,
and then the United States
wow.
took it and found a way to monetize it because that's what they do. They monetize everything because our consumers, which is eat it up, eat it up, eat up everything you throw at them. All right, consumer home sales data is out. Let's take a look.
Yep. I should have a. Oh no, I'm not sharing a screen, but the data is out. Let's share that screen for you. You should be able to see live data there.
Will it come the same? I know you got two computers going. How do you like it to? Well, we'll talk
Yep.
about the data. We'll talk about it a bit here. I don't see it yet, but let me make sure because sometimes when you connect from a new setup, I might need to do something. No, I got you, Peter. Ah, there it is. I got it.
Yeah. So data came out slightly lower than anticipated, only just under 4 million home sales when the number was anticipated to be just over 404 million home sales. So not a statistically significant variance there, 3.98 million versus 4.07, but I don't know, the market might not see that as good. We did get a temporary little dip here, but I don't think it's not going to be long lasting. So pretty much came out as anticipated. And that's it. We don't have any other economic data scheduled for today. So now it's all down to what's the next piece of news, right?
Yeah.
What's the news that we're going to see next?
APP is that App Lovin'? Yeah, App Love is having a heck of a day. These guys are up 6% this morning, 905 so far. So yeah, they're crushing today.
Good old App Lovin'. This NVIDIA, the level 2 in NVIDIA looks like it wants to go higher because the orders are stacked. The chart looks like it's topped here and is ready to drop. So it's hard to tell either way.
Yeah.
Since I'm playing around here this morning, I'm going to play around with another short here at 188. Anything over high of day will stop me out. Maybe we'll get a big pullback and I can take advantage of this. We'll see.
That's not nice. We'll remove that, Robert. That's not nice of you to say, man. What's going on? You're not like that. I know you. I know you here in chat. You're pretty good. Oh, you say something like that. So I won't block you because I think you just had a moment. We all have moments sometimes. We all have moments. Other people just block and ban right away. I give you a chance. It's like when you go, you gotta understand. People have moments. People have bad moments. I have bad moments too all the time.
Sure.
Like you go on a Saturday morning where it's nice and sunny. It's 75 degrees outside, and you go to a Dunkin' Donuts and the person doesn't treat you well. Think about how they're feeling, and you're on your way with your swimming gear to the beach to have a great day with your family in the cars. I get it. They're just doing their job, but they might be having a moment where, like, crap, I'm here this weekend working a double because someone else didn't show up. Like, you just don't know what's going on, right? So she could have a moment and be rude to me, and I'm like, hey, have a nice day. I feel for you. I really feel for you. I'm going to go to the beach, and as I'm sipping on my drinks, I'll think about you, But I feel for you. So people have moments, you got to be understanding. I agree. Yeah, customer service is probably one of the toughest things, especially serving people. It's a tough business, right? And if you don't get paid well, it could be tough. And those guys don't get paid well,
Yeah.
It's not like you're going to the Four Seasons. Four Seasons, I expect you to treat me well. You don't treat me well, I'm gonna have a problem. Minimum wage, you have a moment, it's okay. Four Seasons, the world could be falling apart. Treat me nice, because I'm paying for nice. I'm paying for nice. You know what I'm saying?
Paying for
Like,
nice.
yeah, I'm not paying to understand your problems right now. Oh man. Oh boy, oh boy. Gotta understand the environment. It's very important. The environment dictates everything. All right, MU friends, leaving the VWAP. No pullback for a VWAP breakdown, and I probably wouldn't have not trusted it anyways to take a short. AMD failing the VWAP breakout, so I see that at VWAP. See what it does here if it can hold. Right now it's just kind of quiet. Breaking entry here. Andrew in on Microsoft. 372. This entry on Microsoft there. So Andrew long, Tesla still at 349. That's about to pay off nicely, guys. Look at that, man. Tesla out in front here. MU heading the other way. Such a mixed bag today. There's some stuff that's just not moving, like Intel. MU is going lower. Tesla's going higher. CoreWeave back down here. PLTR just lost some traction. I mean, there's a lot everywhere, and I'm in none of this. NBIS losing some strength towards that 155. Didn't get there. Pulling back. Peter, you in anything right now? Any
No, I got
reversals?
out of NVDA. Again, another break even. It did spike lower to 188, but it wasn't breaking. So we'll just cut our losses there.
Yeah.
Cut it break even. It's just one of those days where it's not feels like it's gonna break, but not yet. Yeah. There's a lot of orders here above the price. I should show more patience. I could have still been in this. Look at this now. Is it going to break 188? Maybe. No patience. No patience on my part. Look at that. There's a little. Oh, there's the break I was looking for.
Which one is this one, Peter? Remind me.
NVIDIA.
NVIDIA, yeah. Yeah. It's hard, man, because you were in here too. I think right in this area, right? And then you got out break even. Look what happens. You know?
I got back in over 188. I actually had an average of about 188.20. And then it spiked up. It spiked up, and I just said, let's not take too much risk here. And
yeah.
So I mean, it's not like it's gone a couple of bucks. It's only gone a couple of cents here, but
yeah. Apple GS. This is not trading good anymore. This RVMD is not doing anything. It's got no volume. CRM. Let's see. CRM. It's just scanning. Tech is just another one. Salesforce doing well today. And I don't think there's any news on it because I haven't seen anything. But we'll see. Ackman is starting another IPO. Starts marketing Pershing IPO to raise $10 billion. This guy's always into something. So Bill Ackman doing something, some stuff.
Hey, you got to make money.
Yeah.
He's always hustling.
Pershing Square USA is expected to be priced on April 28th. So. All right, looking, friends. Coin did very well today. Yeah, there was a lot of things looking back now, not on our list that did very well. Yeah, Coin, you guys mentioned. Intel, we did have on the list, but very good start, strong start, and just kind of went flat the last couple of minutes. So not really doing anything. And NBIS was another one. We had this on our secondary, I believe. Yes. And this also did very well, guys. So went green and then just took off PLTRs heading lower. Core we've had a strong start too, man. So many things that did pretty good today. CRCL. Yeah. It's all software though. It's all software and AI type data centers. I mean, that's what's the stuff that's really getting like the big moves today. NVDA trying to go green. As I mentioned earlier, Andrew is in Microsoft, so Andrew is in Microsoft there from 372, so he's in from down here. Very nice. So sure, he's got a couple of parcels up into 377.91, which is our high. You think car is heading to 600? Why? What's your reasoning for it? I'm curious. Wow. What is this about?
Car?
Avis.
Like
Look
Avis?
at Avis. Yeah, look at their
The heck?
chart, man.
I haven't looked at that in a while, but 600?
Me neither.
What the?
Well, they're
I
halfway
was
there.
like, this is the stock is. Wow, look at that. Yeah,
They're
no,
halfway there.
Last time I looked at this stock, it was under $100.
Me too. That's why when this guy
yeah.
says 600, Sam, you're like, this 1984, probably the year you were born, same as me. I'm like, this guy's smoking something. The stock is like $90. How's it gonna get to 600? But no, you're right. I'm wrong. I'm the one smoking, obviously.
Wow.
It's at 324.
Wow. Yeah, look at that.
People are renting cars, man. Wow. That is
Interesting.
It's impressive. Cars being short squeezed. Yeah, this is definitely a short squeeze. I mean, the stock barely moves, and just this month alone, not this month, the last couple of weeks, it's just been on a tear. So definitely getting squeezed here. What's the other one? Hertz is HTZ.
HTZ. Yeah.
Yeah, they're having a little bit of movement. Probably secondary
move?
to sympathy move. That's the word I was looking for. Sympathy moves to car, but not as big.
All right. What's Andrew up to? He's got his he's working some of the longs well.
Yeah, he's doing good with the longs today. I believe they did. I believe Hertz did have some bankruptcy stuff going on. And they had a tough time, and they did this Tesla situation, which did not work. They got into they bought way too many cars that were not being rented. Their services on Tesla were getting expensive. People didn't know how to drive the Tesla. And it is tricky. Like if you have never drove a Tesla before, it is very tricky with the braking. It's kind of annoying at first, the way the braking works. It pisses you off until you actually get it. Once you get it, like, oh, this is great. But think about it. You're on vacation. You just want to get a car and go. Yeah. With a Tesla, you got a plan. You got to get in a car. You got to first learn how to drive. It's your first time doing it, and then you got to figure out how to work the system to find a gas station. It's not as simple as, hey, pull up over any gas station. So, like, I know how to drive a Tesla, but if I go on vacation, I'm not renting one. You know, like I'm not renting a regular car, so I don't have to plan so much as far as fuel and this and that. No, I'm not doing that. And then if you're staying in a hotel, you gotta make sure that they have enough charging stations. Sometimes they don't. It's gets messy. But yeah, car, man. Thanks for bringing that up. It's gonna be on the radar for me going forward. Now, this is a hell of a squeeze, man. 80. Was it like at $100? Yeah, look at that. Just 3 weeks ago. Wow, there's some very happy campers right now. That's for sure.
Oh, whoops.
MU. What else? Tesla. Wow, Tesla fell apart here. Nice drop. Wow. Actually go red. Let's see what it does here at the VWAP. This could be interesting. If I take this trade and it fails, this will have to be my last trade because then I'll be very close to max loss for the day. So let's make sure it's A quality if we're going to take one. If not, we'll call it what it is and we'll be back tomorrow. But see if we get an A quality setup. It's still early, 10:16.
I have to admit, I'm short NVIDIA again. I'm convinced this thing is going to go back to VWAP.
Peter, you having a moment?
I think so. I think so. So
you know
we
what?
gotta see. I'm green in this trade right now. Again, doing a lot of break-even stoppages here. Unfortunately, I did have a loss earlier that I'm trying to make up from, but and then churning a bunch of commissions. But
yeah.
But if I can get the move, then that's what's gonna make it all work. But it's just I should have stayed in the trade where I was in, and it was over 188.
Up there.
If I'd stayed in that trade,
yeah,
188.20, and it wouldn't have challenged my entry to this point. So, really that's frankly where my nervousness, I guess, showed itself. That was the best entry, and I really should have just stayed in that. So.
Here it is.
However,
all right, here we are. I'm short Tesla, guys. So I did the VWAP breakdown here. Did pull back a little bit here. We'll highlight a little bit higher. We didn't get it. I'm short. We'll be targeting the previous day close at 348.95, and we'll be out. We'll be out quickly. My stop was going to be 352. We'll be out sooner if it doesn't show signs of dropping soon. So let's see what happens here. All right, how's your trade, Peter? Hopefully it's dropping. Come on, go the other way.
No, it's not. It's just it won't. The damn thing won't drop.
Yeah, piece of crap.
It came down again. I can regret that trade. I really should have more patience on that best entry. And I'd be very happy right now, but instead, see, we just spiked back up through my break even.
Yeah, sucks. Tesla garbage. I'm sorry, NVIDIA garbage. But you're right. That first entry you had, man, that was pretty good.
Oh.
All right, my second trade NVIDIA. We're in earlier today. Looking to see if we get the previous day close. All right, so U.S. blockade on Iran's coastline goes into effect. So now at 10. That is the headline that people are mentioning here. What exactly does that mean? Who knows? Let's see if Tesla wants to drop or not. What is CAR? CAR is Avis. Avis is a rental car company, national rental car company here.
Avis budget.
Yeah. You got Avis, you got Hertz,
budget Avis.
National. There's some other ones too that are for more luxury cars. Like Six actually came out, very recent car company. I don't know if they were bought out by, they bought out another, right? But Six is like they came out with the big luxury ads, and then they got some luxury vehicles you can rent.
Did they? Really? It's not what I would think of for luxury rentals. But
Yeah, it's
okay.
like 6. Let me see. I might have the wrong name. Hold on.
I went on a our company back in the day. My company used to use budget, and is it budget? Yeah, it was budget. It was budget before it was budget Avis. So and then they merged, and so anyway, so we used to go to budget all the time. And Carlos, when you show up at budget, I mean, based on the name, we always had, our company standard was a full size vehicle and full size sedan. So whatever
Mm-hmm.
you get, whatever your full size sedan is, and it's usually
Yeah.
nothing special. And but once we showed up, there was three of us, three dudes, all on a business trip, and I don't even remember where we were. Doesn't matter the city, some random city in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, like, we don't have any cars for you all. And then they go and the manager and they're like, oh, it's a big corporate client and we got to. So, anyways, bottom line, they put all three of us in three Jaguars. And I got to say, that was probably not their best move, but it was the only cars that they had. We had so much fun that week. I think we did some work. I don't remember any of the work that we did, but I
Yeah,
do
yeah,
remember tooling around in the Jag every time we were going to a restaurant. And we, like, because you go out to dinner, you're there with the client, you do your stuff all day, and then you go out for dinner.
yeah.
We were picking restaurants that were like 30 miles away, just
Just to
so we
drive the
could get
Jag.
just to get a drive in these Jags. And of
Yeah,
course,
yeah.
it was a rental Jag, so it wasn't the high end, but even a
Right,
low
right,
end
right.
Jag. Maybe this is like, probably this was 1990s, maybe early
Yep.
2000s at best. So even then, it was just, we were having lots of fun. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was quite awesome. Good week.
Nobody rents a car dressed like this. It doesn't happen.
No,
It's
uh,
no. You don't rent a car
if
looking
you're on a
like
business
this.
trip, I mean, I guess I used to, but I don't know the business climate
Yeah,
anymore. Maybe not.
I when
Maybe not.
back in the days, yeah. Now when you travel, you want to travel comfortable. You're not wearing a three-piece suit at the airport.
Well,
Like
no, I
I don't
guess
know.
not. I used to, because when you
Oh yeah,
travel with a really
before.
small bag, and
Yeah.
you can't put the suit in there
No,
because
you
it
can't
would
put the
wrinkle,
suit.
so you wear it.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Anyways,
Not anymore. But yeah, this is it right here, sixth.
yeah, anyways.
So this is a car rental company that is for luxury cars. Sixth rental, but they were fairly new. Like they were not out that long. It's got to be I want to say maybe 10
Hmm.
years or less, if that,
Whoa.
if that.
That,
So
look at that rejection on NVIDIA.
all right, Tesla's just bouncing back and forth, back and forth. I don't like what it's doing here. Two really nice buy ups right at this level, so that's not a good sign for us. Hard stop 352, but I will get out if before that, if we don't start seeing some progress, man. Which is got some support here for from whatever reason. This line, this is probably yesterday, Friday's, yeah, Friday's high. So this line that you're seeing here is Friday's high right over here. Just back and forth right below our entry. A few weeks ago, SNDK was in the 600. Yeah, SNDK will get to 2000 by year's end if it continues. I think so. It's crazy. All right, just back and forth, back and forth. Looks like the buyers are winning here. Sellers have second thoughts. And we're just not getting any type of movement.
Ay, ay, ay.
Trump vows to eliminate Iranian ships close to U.S. blockade. Breaking news from Bloomberg. So I guess he's only targeting Uranian ships, right? If his blockade is only for Uranian ships,
but
not
those are the
other
only
ships.
ships. So Iran is blocking every other ship, and he's going to block the Iranian ship. So I guess
Right.
that's the tit
Like,
for
don't
tat.
don't let your ships go through if the other ones can. Okay, I can see the thought process.
I'm not sure what it means in this case. So like Iran has been clear, their blockade means we will sink you. I can't imagine the U.S. sinking these ships, but maybe they'll just take possession of them.
Turn around, or okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of what they did with Venezuela, right? They kind of took possessions of a few of them, and some they turned around. So. All right, 352 is my hard stop. Yeah, I'm getting out. It might go lower, but I don't want to stick around to see the pullback into my stop if it's not going to play out nice here. Cover. Make sure I hit the right button. The last few times I had some issues covering. Like I hit the wrong button a few times in the last 3 weeks.
Right.
Like I will hit the sell button, which is below the cover button, and that adds some shares instead of covering everything. So I'll make sure I got my hotkeys hands where they need to be, just to make sure. Usually not a problem, but I had 2 of those in the last like month or so.
Right.
My gut feeling tells me this thing is gonna pop and I should get out now. But the technicals are saying let's wait for the VF, see if we can hold it. So that's what's happening right now, guys. If you're wondering what's Carlos doing, that's what I'm doing. My gut feeling is gonna pop, get out. And the technical is saying the VWAP is here. Just wait. That's what's happening. There are also Chinese ships passing through. Yeah, I think a couple got through before this. Like, I'll be surprised if 10 got through, right? But I think a couple got through.
Yeah.
And then now we're with this blockade. So we'll see.
Yeah, you got to have, man, it's got to be. Can you imagine how nerve wracking it would be to like trust that you can sail your ship through there and nobody's going to take you out? Not the sea mines or the, a missile or something. And
fun.
Like if you get hit, there's no rescue ships coming because nobody's coming into that war zone, especially if your ship got hit. So it's like,
oh no,
damn, it's tough stuff, man. If you're having the guts to sail through.
Yeah. Which I'm sure that they're. If I'm the if you're in the crew, you're probably, if you're passing through, they're very close to the thing that drops. They got that orange boat, the small boat that drops like for safety, whatever. I'm sure you just put it on autopilot. Yeah. It just stand next to that in case you got a bill and run into it. I'm gonna get out of this thing.
Even so, what if that boat runs into a mine? You get off the ship and then you just run into another mine in the damn it.
But it'll be a lot smaller.
10:30. We're an hour into this market
to navigate. So I would think, but yeah, no, you're right. It's a risk, a very heavy risk. All right, I'm out of Tesla, guys. It looks like it might want to get above the VWAP. Peter's still pissed that the US beat Canada for the gold. Peter's not even thinking about that, man.
Oh my goodness.
Nobody's thinking about that. Who's thinking? I'm not even thinking about that. And I live in the US. It's done. That's it. What's this for the Olympics? Yeah. The Olympics that big of a deal? I guess they are if you win, right?
Sure.
I don't know.
Sure. Disappointing, but it's not like every day I wake up and go, ah.
All right, so I guess people do care. I don't know. I don't think I care. Even for like baseball or whatever. You won the Olympics, so I'm more interested in the World Series. Me personally, I think that's
Hmm.
more exciting. The Olympics fun. It's fun in games. You watch it, but we don't go around saying, "Yeah, we won this many Olympics." I don't think people care. No, take that back. I don't know what people care about. I don't really see it as
If you're an
a
Olympic
thing.
athlete, you care a lot.
Yeah, if you that's it. If you won, oh, you care, and I care for you. That's great. Um, but I think the U.S. sports have more excitement. I think.
Yeah, this market, I'm so shocked that this market is actually moving higher. That's pretty impressive, actually, considering.
All right, my gut was right on this Tesla. Uh am I a Yankee fan? Yes. If I have to pick, I'm gonna be a Yankees fan. Have I kept up with the Yankees or any sports lately? No, no. Uh, but again, I became a fan at the era where I mean we're just we had a great team. Derek Jeter, Bernie Williams, Paul. I mean that. I mean, loved
God,
it.
this
That era
market.
was much different. So, um, would I have become a fan? I always think about it. Would I have become a fan when they were losing if I was starting to watch baseball then? Right. That's the question. Because it's very easy to
Mm,
become a Yankee fan when you're growing up and all you're seeing is Paul O'Neill
fair,
breaking bats and breaking home runs. You're happy, like
fair
yeah,
weather fan. Yeah, it's easy to be a
right.
fan
So
when
that's
everything's
when I
green.
grew up
Yeah.
watching them. Would I, if I were growing up when they were losing, would I still be a fan? Would I be a Dodgers or I don't know? You get what I'm saying?
So your family's not like a diehard
No, it didn't come from the
Yankees or
family.
Dodgers or
Hmm.
okay,
My father did not watch any sports, man. He was just
okay.
out there getting it done. So he was not. He didn't have the time. Um, so it doesn't come from like a family history of like, oh, we're Mets fan, and yeah, I don't have
Right.
that. Oh, come on, Tesla. Seriously, look at the drop might be coming here now. Come on. I'm not. I'm done. I'm done. We're slightly just. We could afford one more trade, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm not. Just that's it. We'll come back tomorrow. This day's not treating me well.
No,
How about you guys? How do you guys do? Me and Peter have somewhat of a rough day.
we're having a rough day. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
as far as getting things to connect. How about you guys? Oh, you Tesla, you piece of garbage.
yeah.
Long NVIDIA. All right, see your long NVIDIA. Let's take a look. Okay, yeah, NVIDIA actually thought I was gonna get down to the VWAP. Actually held back to the previous day close, trying at least. Red for me. Let's see what else. Mountain Pass PLTR. Okay.
Yeah. The problem is it came all the way down through the VWAP and then
Yep.
retested the high. So that breaks my rule, my personal
Mm-hmm.
rules. But
Yeah. Yep. Just trying there. So nice. Green but rough day. I'm glad you're green. I'm glad you're green, but because I was a rough day and I'm red. I like the rough day green, but good. CRWV treats me well so far. Yeah, we got some runners, man. CRWV, PLTR at some point here broke out nicely. What's the other one? Intel. The beginning broke out and just went sideways, and it was another one. NBIS continues, guys. New high, 156.85 is your all-time highs on NBIS. What a monster today. Um, how can I see Andrew trading live? You can see him right over here in the chat room. So head
yeah,
over to
chat room's the place to go.
bearwithtraders.com and he is there. I'll show you what these guys are up to. Um, Here it is loading up. There it is. There's Andrew. He is traded Sanders a little bit, but he had his good trades with Tesla and I think what's the other one? Tesla and Microsoft. He traded Microsoft as well this morning. But yeah, head over to chat. You can see Andrew. You can see Brian's trading. The rest of the moderators. These guys are on all day. Oh yes. Eamon's book is out, friends. So definitely take a look
Yeah,
at that.
I bought it
Check it
last
out.
week.
You did. That's right.
I did.
So, so look at that. He's
Loaded up on my Kindle.
yeah, he's done a lot of work on this book. So I'm sure it's gonna be good. And Aim is a great trader. Aim is a great trader. So definitely check him out. And a really
Oh, come
nice
on.
guy, man. Really nice guy. Uh, Met him in Thailand, so you guys know, and man, we had a great time. So, oh, but yeah, head over to bearwithtraders.com. Highly recommend tonight. We have our onboarding class starting at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So if you want to join for that, $39 gets you in. I'll show you around what our environment's like, what to expect, and you also get access all the way a whole week access to seeing Andrew trade live and the rest of the team. So cannot beat that. $39, less than a full tank of regular fuel for you. So it's gonna last you longer too. It's gonna last you a whole week, not a couple of days. So pick your choice there. Yeah, and no, I'm not trading it no more, man. Even if it could go to zero from here. That's it. I'm done. I'm not in sync with the market. Yeah, I'm just done.
Yeah.
I'm not looking. Yeah, that's it. You get to the point like if I keep trading, and I keep getting just stopped out like this, I'm gonna get frustrated. Besides losing more money, I'm just gonna get frustrated and do stupid things. It's just not worth it. So we'll leave it alone. People hitchhiking instead of driving. People taking out the bikes. Take out the bike. Gotta go to the 7-Eleven, pick up something, or the grocery store, or the corner bodega. Pick up the e-bike.
There you go. Use the e-bike.
Yeah,
Go electric. Just go electric on a bike.
that's it. I don't have one, but I figure it's got to be pretty cool to have an e-bike. Like, if I have to go pick up something in Walgreens, it's not so far. I'll take an e-bike. I'll jump on the e-bike on a nice day instead of going for a 5-minute drive.
Yeah. Even having an electric car, I found I had a rental for an electric last year. And it's just because it's so weird to get into a vehicle and not start it. Like you just get in
Yeah.
and go, right? Like
Go,
it's sort
yeah.
of just always on. And it makes it feel different for running errands. It feels so much more efficient because you're not starting up the car.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
hear the roar. You could, it's burning gas. Here, it's just, just away you coast. It's super easy. All right. Looks like NVIDIA may want to go green. 188.63 is Friday's close. We'll see if
Nice.
it can get back there. I've been watching NVIDIA, been taking an ungodly number of shorts on it, and all pretty much stopped at break even. Lots of break even stops here.
Yeah.
So fortunately, it's not been moving hard against me. So I've been picking my moments well, but I obviously am not getting it to move, in the direction I want. So clearly it's going higher, which again is sort of weird in this market with this complexion, the news out there. It's we've got a market that's strangely resilient. We've seen this for so long, years and years now. Shouldn't be too much of a surprise.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very true. I mean, if you look at the daily, we're back at the area where we're at the low end prior to the war, right? It's back and forth, right? Which is at the low end at the moment. So
yeah,
we're there at the V here. This Iran war caused this, and now we're back towards that bottom end there. So was all-time high during this stretch here or last year? No, it was during this stretch. Okay.
Yeah, it was right in there.
Yep.
All-time high.
It was this year, right? One of these two, depending what they did after hours or before hours. Yeah.
See if NVIDIA, it just touched on the break or Friday's close. Can it go green? There it is. It's green.
NVIDIA, here you go. Nice. NVIDIA going green. MU struggling today. Had a nice drop, but since then just kind of sideways. Tesla, Look at you, Tesla. You playing games with me. Oh, back
Yeah.
down. Let's see if we could break this level though. Just this level is the one that kind of held here. This is yesterday's, Friday's high, last trading day's high there. So held that, and that's what kind of stopped me out. So we're back at it again. And again, Tesla's in a very interesting situation because again, if you look at their daily, it's just down, down, down. And here they're trying to get a foothold and just hopefully turn around. But man, it's been tough for them. What VPN do you guys trust overseas? What about when you go on vacation? About to go on vacation to Vietnam in May. You know what? I just use the Apple VPN thing that they have there. It's a couple of companies that you could use. X Amen, he's coming up next. He uses VPN for everything in Russia. So if he's able to do it in Russia and get away with doing some stuff, I'm sure that's a great VPN company he's using. He's very tech savvy too. So ask him what company he uses for VPN.
I was one of the guys we were traveling with, one of the traders when we were in Egypt with. He has a sort of a private VPN where basically he has a modem, a router set up at his home, and then he brings a little router with him, and so he just uses the router to tunnel into his home router, and then it's basically a private VPN. It looks like he's operating from his home office. The router itself has a VPN sort of built into it. And it made a lot of sense. It was really smart. It's, so that way he can do everything like he's operating from home, which is good for all his, logging into banking apps and security things. So that was sort of cool.
Nice. Oh, you guys are, what's going on in Vietnam at the end of May? Everybody's going at the end of May. Everybody's going in May. What's happening? There's like a convention I need to know about? Do me and Peter need to go with you guys? Well, like out of all the places in the world, Vietnam, huh? What's going on, guys? Send the invite.
Here we go. NVIDIA just going green. Oh, is it going to be able to hold it this time? Looks like it, maybe.
Oh, look at that. Tesla also held here and turned around. So there it is. Tesla is using this big support level here. Someone mentioned it's R6 as well. Did I read that correctly? Sorry, S1. Mojito, you missed that's S1 as well. So it's correlating with S1 plus the Friday's high. So yeah, big feeling there. Big support there. As your country, chill blog, you're from there? Sweet.
All right, Carlos, hate to admit it. Went short again, NVIDIA, as it popped up above, as it went green.
Okay.
Stop at break even. If it goes green again, I'm going to be out.
Come on, drop.
Hold it here. Hold. Oh, it's gone green again. I'm out.
Damn it.
Go out at break even. Thought I'd give it a shot.
Yeah.
So it does look like the orders are sitting to the top side. It does look like it wants to go higher, but I thought I'd take a chance. It had the moment of weakness and core weave. Yeah. Core weave. Where are you going, core weave? Core weave looks like it wants to go higher. There you go. There's NVIDIA on the pop higher.
Yeah, look at that break. Yeah, I know it's beautiful because I seen pictures and haven't been there, but I know it's beautiful. At least the pictures I seen. They usually when you try to book vacations, so they just show you the best places. Obviously, right? All countries do that. It's not a
right.
But it looks great. It looks beautiful.
There's a push.
welcome. Welcome to Lambos and Garbage
Wow.
Truck. Good to have you.
Goldman Sachs is up. CoreWeave just hit a new high. And NVIDIA's gone green. So yeah, we're actually looking higher on most things. Tesla is the one thing that it's just, I don't know, it's just going sideways here. Had that interesting move sort of, about 45 minutes ago when we were trying to get a short, or at least I was trying to get a short from what was then the high of day. But yeah, Carlos, it's been it's if you just took something long and closed your eyes, you could have been okay. But I was still just very short biased on things. It just shows how things don't always follow where you think they should go. Doesn't matter what you think.
Yeah.
Let the market tell you. Which is why I was so risk adverse. But man, CoreWeave's had a good day.
I know, man. So some companies today, some tickers that are just blowing it out of the water. CoreWeave's one of them. I mean, just look at this. Look at this 1 minute chart. It's insane. And then look at the daily here. The daily they had a great day on Friday, continuing today. I mean, just awesome. NBIS, friends. Wow, this thing is just on fire. On fire. Up $14 from the close here, guys. 10%. That's epic. I think people just want to be careful with when they're connecting to like some local hotels Wi-Fi, right? They want to be sure they're not, they're good characters and they're not trying to steal your information that you're passing through, right? So the VPN protects from that. So I think that's the main concern. Identity theft sucks. It sucks. I had one of my friends, man. He used to work together, co-worker, but we became great friends. And that happened to him. I worked with him for 12 years, 10 years. No, 10 years, 10 years with him. It took him like 4 or 5 years to actually get this thing taken care of. Like, it is, because he really, like, they had credit cards for like established history for a very long time. Like they'll pay them off. So what they do is, he was explaining to me, like, he had a whole investigator and everything. Like, this was a big deal. They will pay them off, so they build up their credit. They opened up all kinds of different credit lines with different addresses. So all the address stuff would go to another address. And it took him 5 years to actually clear his name up. I mean, and they had mortgages. Peter, they had mortgages on this guy's name. So oh, good morning, Andrew. So yeah, identity theft is, be careful, guys. It could be pretty bad. All right, Andrew's here.
Good morning, guys. How's YouTube, guys?
YouTube's
good morning. Sounds like you had a better trading morning than we have. Both Carlos and I have struggled this morning, but Andrew, sounds like you had a good morning.
Why? What did you do?
Don't just 1 second, Andrew. Don't change your screen. I'm gonna fix it. I want you to leave it the way you have it. So every time it comes up, let me just fix it. Yeah, thanks. Okay.
How's everybody doing here, guys? So this weekend we had a couple of traders that they had over $10,000 profit, so we paid them today. So we had two $10,000 funded account traders that we looked at the payments this weekend.
Nice.
So I'm actually super excited. Yeah. So if I'm gonna show you full screen here. So we had, you guys can see my screen, full screen. So in the last 4 hours, so we had one. Carlos shows that, yeah. So we had one trader, Shalganavi Damir, 9,400. I think he already made profit before. Then we had the Eve, 2,500. Then we had another trader, $10,000, Devin Zhang. Congratulations. And then we had another one, Dimitri, 9,700. So it's going pretty well for funded account traders. Congratulations, guys. Remember, guys, you can also do the funded account. We do have a draw every day for free. So we pay every week. Every Friday, we send the payments. So the tax treatment, I don't know. You have to really report it based on, it could be like, maybe it could be like a prize or, I don't know, gambling, or I don't know. I don't know how you report this kind of income to your tax, depending on which country you are. Could be trading profit, could be like a lottery profit or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. It's it's a skill-based giveaway, so I'm not sure.
Skill-based giveaway.
I guess it's a prize winnings, which some places are taxable, some places aren't. You'd have to check with a professional. Obviously, we are not professionals. Check with a professional for taxes. We can never help, unfortunately, with taxes in any jurisdiction. So
Yeah. So today we had a
tips.
really amazing trading day on Tesla, guys. So we had my biggest win was on Tesla. So as you see here, we got a really nice breakout on Tesla. You, and then we added twice on it, and then for a really nice breakout from 350 to 356. So that was my biggest win that we had. And SanDisk obviously was a really good scalp at the open as well. To went up to 900, above 900. I think it's now 920. So that one was also a trade that we did on SanDisk with the help of Market Atlas. No, we don't need any social number, so we can just send you payment through the
Yeah,
PayPal.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Egypt was amazing. Egypt was a great trip. The country of Egypt is a little bit disappointing because they've been through a hard last 10 years. They had a couple of revolution, and there is a little bit the country is a little bit struggling, but the historical places are just amazing.
Yeah, definitely. If you like ancient cultures, you got to visit. You got to visit Egypt. It was
For sure, you got to
fantastic.
visit at least once. Yeah. Food was good. Food was good in Egypt. It wasn't super crazy, but it's good. I enjoyed it. So, Tesla, NVDA was a really nice breakout day as well. So, Intel also, I think Kyle is making money on Intel. Kyle has won two $10,000 account from us so far. Oh, yeah, there you go. Kyle, you're here too. Yeah, Kyle. Kyle is trading Intel. NVDA is running up.
Yeah. Yeah, Nvidia. I was short biased on it. Again, I've been trying to short Nvidia all day here, and it's obviously that is the wrong move. So, and CoreWeave's also had such a great day. Lots of movement higher. $10 move, top to bottom to top on CoreWeave. PLTR is at the high of day. A lot of stuff that's sitting at the highs here. Can't keep this market down, can you?
I'm actually surprised that the market is going as strong with the negotiation when the South over the weekend.
Hmm.
It's crazy.
It does seem, yeah, a little counterintuitive on that, but yeah, in this market, it's resilient. I thought that the market would be sitting on the sidelines a little bit more than it is, just waiting for some definitive news. But
I think the earnings season is now.
yeah, it's just getting started with the banks as it usually does. So we do have that.
Yeah, so the banks started today, and then we're gonna have some really good earning in the next couple of weeks. I think Microsoft is at April 29. Huh?
Could be. I don't know offhand. What is Microsoft? Oops. Correct. After the close.
So here's my position, guys, that I have. So Microsoft, I got Microsoft uh, uh, assigned for my Microsoft puts at three. My average is now 376, and I sold covered calls on them at 380. So if Microsoft hits 380, I'm gonna take the profit on them. And yeah, just staying on these positions. And overall, it was a pretty good day for me. I had two trades on it, on SanDisk and Tesla. So SanDisk was a scalp. Tesla was a really good breakout, and sitting on these profitable trades to see what's going to happen. So Tesla for me was let me see. Tesla was a really nice breakout. I went once, got stopped out, and then second time added more a couple of times. Really nice breakout we got. And SanDisk, with the help of Market Atlas, was really seeing these big orders to the upside from 880 to 900. So that was the trade that we did in the chat room.
Nice. Microsoft's moving higher, Andrew, over 379 now.
I know Microsoft is reaping. I think the money is really flowing into Microsoft. 380. I think I'm gonna make money on that. It's good.
Oracle double top. Let's take a look at Oracle here. What's it doing? Yeah, I see what you're seeing. I think it just broke higher though. Unfortunately, Oracle just set a new higher high. So that breaks the mountain pass type setup for me. It looks like it wants to push higher. I would check the Atlas on it. Let's see what it's doing on Market Atlas here. It definitely looks like it's going higher. A little mixed here on the orders on the Market Atlas. It does look like there's some downside orders.
For which one? For
Oracle.
Oracle.
Oracle's balanced right near the price action, which means we could easily move from here to 351 before maybe it decides to sell off. We'll have to watch it. So clearly it was not, a double top there. Oracle was just resting before pushing higher. So we'll see once it clears all these orders sitting between the current price and 351. 151. Wow. Wow. Market enthusiasm is abound. CoreWeave retesting this high that it set just a couple of minutes ago at 114.
CoreWeave. It's big order at 115 on CoreWeave. Microsoft looks like it's ripping 380, huh?
Let's hope it gets to 380 for you.
Well, my covered calls is by Friday, so
here's Oracle at 151. It just pushed off of that number.
yeah. So market Atlas has helped me to actually take some bigger risks. That's for sure. That's true. That is true.
Oh, look at the pushback off of all these levels. The whole market is taking a little bit of a bounce here. whole market.
How's your jet lag, Peter?
For the most part seems to be okay. I am sleeping a lot. I don't feel like I'm waking up at the right times and sleeping most of the night, but I'm sleeping a lot more than I normally would. So I must be still tired. This was a busy trip, right? We were always going.
Very, very busy trip. Like it was really too much pressure on me. Like I was never be that tired.
Yeah. A lot going on. It was much more stressful for you guys coordinating things too, because we just sort of followed along with wherever you told us to go. But
All right, Ayman is here. How are you, Ayman? Dr. Al-Mansouri.
okay, I think before we do that, but just before we hand over to Eamon, I think is it time for our daily giveaway?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yes, let's do it.
Hashtag funded. Is that what we're doing, Carlos?
Yep. Hashtag funded.
Okay.
I have it set up. I'll bring it up here in a second.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Now we
I
can.
can hear you.
Awesome. Sorry, my microphone was disabled. How are you guys doing today?
We are good. How are you doing? How was your trading day?
It was amazing. I caught PLTR, survived a horrible pullback, and it's going well. It's going well.
Nice.
Awesome. So let's see.
All right. So hashtag funded. So we're gonna do the funded account draw. Cheers, guys.
All right, let's see, friends. Give it a couple more seconds here, and we'll pick our winner. Eamon, a lot of people getting your book and excited, man. That's good.
Well, it should be good. I've spent a lot of time on it, so I'm glad that people are liking it.
It's like
Would have been
that
so
should not be a
disappointing if they didn't
surprise.
like it. I mean, that should not be a surprise. I mean, it should be good,
I like
but I'm
it.
glad
Look,
people
right-
are liking it.
Writing a book is a lot more effort than people appreciate. I think if you've
I
never
know.
tried it, it is very challenging. So
Andrew can confirm that.
yeah,
He's written a lot of books, right, Andrew?
Yeah, he stepped out already, but yeah, man, he's reading a few, and it's a process. It's a process. A lot of us
Definitely.
Have seen the back end work from you guys, you yourself, Andrew, Brian, writing these books, and we hear all the stories behind it. Doesn't sound easy. All right, guys, here's 120 users, 87 eligible users that are part of the Lambos and Garbage Truck family. So let's do this. The winner for today is going to be Shiva Kairan Reddy. Shiva Kairan Reddy, 4654. Congratulations. Email me, carlos@baywithtrades.com. I'll get you a code for you to be able to redeem your account. You do have to have a trading terminal membership, so I'll send you all the details. But yeah, congratulations. You get your account. So
nice.
all right, guys.
Congrats.
Take care. Peter and I are heading out. We'll leave you guys with the now we could say Dr. Eamon, also author.
Yes,
Eamon. We can use author now.
Dr. Author. That's
There you
him.
go.
Awesome.
Dr. Author
I
Trader.
need to use, I need to add that to my
Absolutely.
profile. Yeah, an author. Why not?
Absolutely, man. Yes,
Man,
you gotta
yeah.
add that. You know?
Dr. Author Trader Dad. That's yeah, man. It's look at that. Getting it all together.
Exactly.
Take care,
All right,
everybody.
guys.
Have a
Take
great
care.
day.
Have a good one.
All right, YouTube. So it's you and me now. How are you guys doing today? How was your trading day? Dr. Author Trader Raymond, what VPN do you use? You know, it would be advertising for VPN, and advertising for VPN is a crime here in Russia. It's not illegal to use it. It's illegal to advertise for it. So don't get me into trouble.
No way. Really?
Yeah, it's totally fine if you use it. No issues, but advertising
Right.
for it, Is
right?
a legal
Even
crime
if
now.
it's even if it's on a U.S. Channel, right? Well, I guess they could.
Well,
me.
yeah,
Yeah.
they could just simply record it, send it to Putin or someone, and then get me into a lot of trouble. So better not. I don't want to have any people knocking my door.
Now, let me ask you a question. This is very interesting. How do you know about that law? Is that something you get in the mail saying, "Hey, here's a new law you can do"? It's like, how do you know
Uh,
that?
it's all over the news. Like it's all over the place. People, once a new law is there, it's over the radio, it's over the news. People mention it. I mean, it spreads so fast. It spreads even before it's there. They first of all they warn you a few months ago earlier that this law is going to come into play on some particular day. Then they keep repeating it for a few months. Then it comes in order, and then if someone gets caught with it, the one who got caught just the news about that gets spread so fast, and people will stay away from
Yeah.
trouble. I don't want to be an
Gotcha.
example for that person that people will take a lesson from. I'm okay like this.
There you go. You can always email amen@bearwithtrust.com. All right.
Exactly. Well, so guys, back to this, back to trading. Trading is legal, no problems with that. So, you loving my book. Thank you, Candy. I'm really glad you are enjoying the book. You also played PLTR. I'm still in PLTR. I lost my internet connection because of these unfortunate VPN. The ideal entry for a long would have been here at 9:38 or 9:46 with an ad at 9:49. And it came back to work when the price was sitting around 131.94. Sorry, I can tell that you don't see my cursor. Let me bring it back. I'm only 2/3 into your book, but it helped me so much with my trading. I'm really glad it did. I mean, honestly, like I mentioned before, this book is going to help your trading a lot. You are going to view the market from a different perspective, no matter what trading style you are trading. Make sure, though, guys, to leave me a couple reviews if you finish reading it. I would honestly appreciate that a lot. The book is new, and those reviews are going to help a lot. Someone asked me for the link. I have just posted it in the chat. You can get it on Amazon. You can either write complete guide to multiple time frame analysis and reading price action, or just go through the link. Anyway, let me fix my cursor. What type of doctor are you? I finished, I'm a physician. I finished the university, the medical university, 6 years of studying, and I did not go to through specialty. I decided to stay as a full-time trader. Yeah, I moved into a new house. You can see the background. What changed is the light and the sofa. I brought a new sofa, put a new light, and I told you that I moved into a new house. No, I'm kidding. It's a lot. It's a lot moving. If I just move my camera, you'll see all the boxes around here. You see, I still did not even unpack. Everything is still here. My PC is just literally on the floor because I was in a rush to jump into this session. So there is still a lot to be finished, a lot to be unpacked, and I ruined my camera. Let me fix that. Thank you, everyone. So let me just fix the camera. I ruined it. It was good and I ruined it. Andrew is going to say that I have a bad background. So you've left me a review, Richard. Thank you. You're the best. Hey man, get your book. Definitely review after reading it. Thank you, Roman. I really appreciate it. You guys are amazing. Thank you. So let me walk you through my trade on PLTR, the thought process. And for those who read the book, it will make a lot of sense for you because this is already mentioned. Now start with the daily chart. If you take a look at the daily chart, we are stuck in a range on PLTR, right? At the low of the range, there is a hammer. So what can we do? We can predict that the next daily candlestick is going to be a long candlestick. In fact, at the low of the range, we had a hammer with huge volume that gives us double confirmation, right? Now at the low of the range, after a hammer on a huge volume, I can expect that we are about to have a bullish candlestick. Next thing I did is I went through the 60-minute chart. And on the 60-minute chart, the breakout type of candlestick pattern that we've also discussed in the book, 4 to 5 candlesticks next to each other with an 8 a.m. candlestick, a green candlestick. This tells us that the price is going to go to the upside as well. Now, what happens after the market open? Market opens and this thing sells off. We do not care about the sell-off. We fully ignore the sell-off because we know that after a sell-off, what could happen? Well, what could be the sell-off? It could be a fake break before the recovery. And if it ends up selling off, I do not care about it. My bias was to the long side based on the daily. It was to the long side based on the 60, but unfortunately, whatever happened just happened. However, if this thing recovers, that's where we want to play to the long side, or maybe somewhere around here with an add at the break of the range. Now, I lost my connection right after the market open, which is unfortunate. So I missed the best possible entries. The price was sitting around here, and I was like, if I weren't in this trade, if I were long in it, I mean, I would have probably jumped into it somewhere around here, here, or here. So what can I do? I can enter with a limit entry. I missed the spike. I know that it still did not hit the target that I'm looking for. So I put a limit order at the bottom, and I was praying. That this thing drops down, grabbing my order, because if it continued just going up, I would have regretted it so much. Anyway, I was happy that it grabbed my order. What was my stop loss? The low of the second candlestick, which is here. It was literally about to wick me out around here. I made sure that I'm locking in some profits around here because my average was ruined. And probably if I entered around here and added around here, that would have been my 4-hour target, or maybe even more. So I decided that I would lock in some profits. Worst case scenario, if this thing triggers my stop loss, I would have a break-even day. If I survive the pullback and it continues in my favor, I would lock in more at 134. And now I have 15% of my position left. I want to catch a bigger run on PLTR. The average true range in PLTR is around $7 to $8. The low is at 128, so we can expect that the price is going to go all the way to 136 at best. 134.40-ish, which is 80% of the ATR. So my final target is the 80% of the ATR. But I made sure that since the move was so straight all the way to 134, that I lock in some profits. Remember that what goes up fast goes down fast. It's the dollar and ruble currency. This thing spiked to 85 recently. There it is. So you see it spiked to 86, and I knew that that's going to happen. And it's kind of been a cycle like this. If you take a look at the last year, we have a big spike and a huge dump, a big spike and a huge dump, a big spike and a huge dump. So I thought that that's exactly the same thing that's going to happen around here. It's interesting that this is a cycle, not only in the stock market, it's also there in the Forex, it's there in different markets, Indian, European. I mean, it does not really matter what type of Asian, it doesn't matter what type of market you are trading. The price action is the same. It's repeatable. So seeing the big drop, the big move, I knew there is going to be a big drop. That's why I made sure that I lock in some profits just in case this happens. I'm on the safe side. I'm going to keep my stop loss around my break even at this stage. And if it spikes, I'll be out around 134.33. So good trade, happy about it. Good start for the week. We'll see how it's going to go. It is going to be nice. Welcome a new family member in a new place. That was exactly the goal behind getting this house. We wanted to make sure that we fully move in before the baby comes in. I was stopped out on the first pullback. My entry was after the fake out in the minute 37 or so. So you get stopped out. Where exactly? Sorry, I'm not really sure where you get stopped out. 30. Oh, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. You did play to the long side around 933, maybe 935, and it took you out at 937. If that's the case, this was a bit early. Remember the 3 candlestick rule? 1, 2, 3. After 3 candlestick, what could happen? A pullback. And the pullback, how far can it go? Anyone? How far can the pullback go before the continuation? I also mentioned that in my course. I mentioned it in my book. The low of which candlestick? The low of 1, the low of 2, or the low of 3? How big is the pullback? Where can you put your stop loss at? I mean, the 50% is for the ABCD pattern, but for the open, if it's a break of a range, it's the middle of the range. But if you go for a 3 candlestick rule, because we did not have a range here, it's the low of 2, because that's 1, that's 2, that's 3. After 3, we expect a pullback. A pullback means that we need to see a new low. So the low of 3 is not going to work. It's probably going to go down. But it can go as low as the low of candlestick 2 and then continue the trend. So if you ended up chasing the stock around here or around here, you need to make sure that your stop loss is at least the low of 2, which is this, so that you can survive the pullback before the potential continuation. Make sense? I ask how you could you exit at the peak? What did you see there? Ron, I just mentioned it. Candlestick 1, candlestick 2, candlestick 3, candlestick 4. It's not only 3, it is 4. On the 4th candlestick, we see a doji at the high. And I also told you that what goes up fast goes down fast. So I knew that this is the beginning of the pullback. This is a strategy that I mentioned, parabolic reversal. I know that if I weren't long in this thing, I would have been looking for a reversal. And if I were looking for a reversal, I would have played a risk-free parabolic reversal around here. So knowing how to trade reversals will help you manage your trades better, will help you get better exits and partials, even if you are not trading reversals. Make sense? Come on, my camera, please. Stop embarrassing me. Good. I mean, after baby, we'll see you at all. Yeah, you will see me. You'll definitely see me. I'm not going to abandon trading. Probably you're going to miss me for just the first 2 weeks, maybe a week. I'll probably get bored after 1 week. I don't know if I'll get bored or not. I know it does that. The reason behind that is that I do not have an Amazon KDP. The book is published on Andrew's page, and because of the sanctions on me on Russia, I cannot publish it on my own. So Andrew was kind enough to publish it, and he was a co-author, so he has the right to do that. Maybe after all this is done, I'm going to open an Amazon page with some detail about the author linked somehow to Andrew's page. Would you stay in PLTR for a swing trade? No, I would not. It's not my type of swing trades. I mean, it has the 30-40% drop, but PLTR is not stock that I would enjoy swing trading. I usually let's close this team. I'm looking at Tesla for a swing. I want to see Tesla around $300, and if this thing drops to $300, I'm selling the house and buying it, like Andrew says. By the way, when is the SpaceX IPO coming out? Anyone tracking this type of news? SpaceX is an exciting one. I'm not going to jump into it the first like 3 to 4 months. I want to see how it's going to be. But it's something that I want to buy for sure. Are you planning to make your book an audio too? Yes, that is in my plans sometime in the near future. Maybe in a couple months, I'll do that. I need to sell 1,000 copies just to get to break even on the book because there were a lot of costs for the editor, for the person who worked on the layout, for the designer. So once I make that back, I'll instantly start spending the audiobook. Like I told you, the goal is not to make money out of the book. If I put it like $50 per copy, I would have probably made it back quickly. But my goal was to make the book affordable for those who couldn't get the course. I know that my course is expensive and people were wanted to learn a few of the basic things that are in the course, but they couldn't afford the course. So I tried to make a simplified version for the course that is written in the book, where people could still benefit and get it at an affordable price. Do you take pivots into consideration? No, I only take horizontal levels. And don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong about pivot points. If you feel like using it, you can use it. I prefer the levels that I see horizontally. For example, I see a clear level around here. Let's fix that first of all. I think I need to enable global trend lines. Give me a second, guys. I just reinstalled Dash Trader. So some settings got broken. So let me just fix the levels. Let's do this. I prefer the maybe blue. Yeah, I like blue. Blue dashed color. That looks better, right? Now we'll need to remove our lines and now we can draw it. So 100 and I can see a level here. I can see a level here. I can see a strong level around here. These are some good intraday levels that we can keep an eye on today. Let's see if there is anything else that could be interesting. No, that's basically it. So these are the key levels that we can watch today. Pivot points, nothing wrong about them. They add too many things to my screen. It makes it overcomplicated for me. Can you please explain the rule about having 2 minimum round trip trades for the funded account? Varp, can you copy paste the rule? I know what rule you're talking about, but I know that the rules have changed quite a few times. I'm not catching up with the rules updates. I mean, I remember the first draft of rules when the funded was in the testing phase. Then they changed it once it was released. And I forgot about it. Let me open the rules and I'll let you know. Give me a second. I think it says that you need to have a minimum of 2 round trip trades a day on an average of 10 trading days, right? If that's the case, it means that within these 10 days, you need to execute 20 trades. It doesn't matter whether it's like 1 trade in first day, 3 on the second, 1 on the third, 4 on the fourth, 6 on that day, the no trade, 1 day. The total needs to be 20. I think within 10 trading days, just check that one. I don't remember exactly how many days you have to execute these 20 trades. 2 round trips means that you must open a trade and fully close it. That's a round trip. Partials do not count as trades. Adds do not count as trades. So opening a position and fully closing it is 1 trade. Okay, good. Thank you for sharing the rule. Let me see. You must average 2 round trip trades per day over each rolling 10-day period. Yes, exactly. That's exactly how I mentioned it. So basically, you must have 2 round trip days trades per day on average over a rolling 10-day period. So within these rolling 10-day periods, there needs to be 20 trades. What order? It doesn't really matter. 1, 0, 5, 2, 1. Within 10 days, you must execute 20 trades. Then you start another rolling 10-day period where you need to have 20 trades. So basically, over the course of trading, I think it's like 3 months, you can break it down to 10 days, 10 rolling day periods, and each of these need to have 20 trades within it. If you take like 19 around here, you'll be disqualified. I know that's a bit of strict rule, but the mods need to make sure that you are actually trading, not just had one lucky week and then just stop trading, so not to give the profit back and then cash out. No, it's not fair to get Andrew bankrupt going around the rules. And honestly, 2 trades a day is not that difficult to take. I know that the main concern around here is that what if I don't find a trading opportunity? If you don't find a trading opportunity to take smaller position, risk half of what you originally risk quarter. That still works, right? And it's fair for both sides. What meant by $2,000 drawdown? It means that you should not lose more than $2,000. If you lose more than $2,000, then you are done. Yeah, that counts. Open a trade and close a second later. That counts as a trade. Just check the minimum. Is there a rule that tells you that your minimum trade needs to be 3 minutes or 1 minute? Or no? If no, then yeah, you could do that. Open it and close it. That counts. Overall, you start with $12,500, buying power of $50,000. If your buying power drops to 10,500, which is around $42,000 buying power, then you get disqualified. That's a lot of room. Trust me, it's a lot of room. Not a funded account out there. There is literally no funded account out there specifically for stocks that's going to allow you to have 20% drawdown. I mean, for that price, obviously. What do we have on PLTR? I'm going to wait for a new low on PLTR. If it gives me a new low, I'm going to add to my winning position and go for another leg up. Let's take a look at the market. What's happening on the market out there? We have the Qs and we have the SPY. Let's analyze these and see what's going to happen. So I'm expecting another bullish week, unless we get something crazy. And probably you already know that there was no deal made between the US and Iran, and probably the war is going to continue. So the moment these bombings happen, oil is going to spike up, Qs are going to dump, and the market is going to dump, at least briefly. Until then, I expect it to continue going higher. If everything goes well, then we might see a break of all-time high within the next couple of weeks. So overall, the weekly chart, only pattern-wise, not news-wise, only pattern-wise, it looks bullish. 60-minute chart on the Qs had 3 candlesticks in a row. That's the 3 candlestick rule around a clear level of resistance. So we can expect some sort of a pullback or some sort of a drop on the Qs. Next thing we have is the SPY. The SPY is basically the same. Let's take a look, get back to the Qs. What can be happen intraday? We need to find some good levels. Close, that's not needed. So we need to find some good intraday levels that we can trade it around. So these are good levels for reversals. This is a good level for a long if it drops down. Another good level for a long and another good level for a long. So these are some buy zone areas. These are some sell zone areas. Looking at the daily chart, this thing needs to start pulling back. So I think I'm going to be looking for some sort of a short or reversal opportunity if we have a fake break above the high of the day. Overall, the longer term trade pattern is long, but the shorter term pattern is a short for sure. Just not ready for a short. I don't see a good risk to reward ratio for a short. So let's wait. Let's get back to Apple. Anything you guys are watching? Anything interesting? Anything setting up? We can look for some trading opportunities. Apple started the day by a dump and it instantly started holding. That's not bearish, but it at the same time it's not bullish because it did not sell off so much. So I don't really like it at the moment. Let's take a look at NBIS. NBIS weekly chart broke all-time high, right? It's all-time high. First weekly candlestick after the breakout. Overall, this weekly candle this week we can expect more to the long side than to the short side. Daily chart. Daily chart is already overstretched. Take a look at the daily chart. This is the average size of daily candlestick on NBIS. So I cannot really expect it to continue going higher when it has this average day after day after day. It will either continue chopping around this high, either continue going higher, but only with a small fake breakout without any continuation higher. Either it's going to start pulling back, but same thing with a really small pullback with no good risk to reward ratio. For today, I would advise staying away from it, but tomorrow could still be a long. Now, if you are a stubborn person and you want to catch a reversal on NBIS, my advice for you would be to wait for a new hourly high. The moment it makes a new hourly high, start looking for a reversal setup. So first, we need NBIS to go past $160 area. Once it goes past 160, we can start scanning for a short. If it does that while I'm here, remind me, we'll analyze it and we'll see if it's ready for a short. ETN, well, Gamal, what are you watching? So ETN, short over the long run, at least maybe the next week or couple weeks. We're sitting at the high of the range, and statistically you can see every time ETN reaches the high of the range, it rejects and sells off. Every time it reaches the high, it rejects and sells off, reaches the high, rejects and sells off, reaches the high, rejects and sells off. So I can actually expect a rejection or a sell-off on ETN for this week. Daily chart had a doji or a reversal candlestick at the high of the range. In fact, this was an amazing selection to play to the short side at the open. Were you watching it at the open? Where did you come up with this stock? This is actually an A+ setup for a short. It's at the high of the weekly chart. It has the 3 candlestick rule to the upside. It has a reversal candlestick at the high, which is a parabolic reversal setup. And we can expect a dump or a pullback. This is actually ideal for a short play. Hourly chart had the breakout consolidation. Market opens really choppy and around here, no entries at the open, but after the retest, it gave you a good short play. Now it's not good for a reversal. It's not good for a long. It already made the move, but not a bad selection actually. And I think that it would be worth keeping an eye on it for a short tomorrow as well. Yes, I have the circle. Don't you see it? Or maybe it's too bright. You have a crystal ball. Send it to me. I'd appreciate it. Yamaha Shima. Let's see what you are watching. CRWV. You can't see it. Yeah, it disappeared. It disappears sometimes. I don't know why it does that. It's there now. I know why it disappears. The moment I move my mouse to a second monitor, it disappears. But now you should have it. So CRWV. We are stuck at the high of the range. Overall, we have a minor range and you have a major range. We are hugging the major range. No fake breakouts. Expect a short on it. 60-minute chart. We have a 1, we have a 2, we have a 3. Probably need a new hourly high. CRWV is amazing one for a short. The weekly looks ready for a short. The daily looks almost ready for a short. We need a new 60-minute high. Probably a fake break of the high of the day. That would be an ideal pattern to play this one for a short. So one of the things that you could do is place an alert at the break of the high of the day. And if it breaks the high of the day, you can start looking for a short. I don't go for a continuation on it though. Continuation is probably going to be a mistake. Get back to the queues quickly. The queues are probably going to roll over. You're right about that. They're sitting so close to the resistance area. I just do not see a good risk to reward ratio on it. It's going to take some time. Oh my god, I forgot about PLTR. Okay, good. I don't have a stop loss on PLTR. It just it's not a hard stop. It's a mental stop loss. When I'm sitting in front of my screen, I usually keep mental stop losses, and I can't forget that I've spent around 20 minutes without taking a look at my open position. What do you think about IBM and Apple? Let's see. IBM looks bullish, at least on these smaller time frames. Now look, this here is a bearish setup. We were stuck in some sort of a range or a consolidation area. And now at the low of the range, at the edge of the range, there is a flag forming. There is a consolidation area. And according to the rules, at the edge of the range, if there is a flag forming, expect the break of the range. So this week, or maybe probably next week, I can expect that IBM is going to sell off. Daily chart looks almost ready for a sell-off. Not ideal, but good enough. If I had to bet short or long, I'd bet more on a short. Daily chart looks long at the moment. We had a mini consolidation at the bottom. We broke this consolidation to the upside. So what you want to see is either a consolidation with a fake break recovery short, either a consolidation with a break, and that would be a short, either a recovery down here, and then a break, and that would be a short. So probably one of these three scenarios could be good to see for a short on IBM. There could be different scenarios, and they will probably be set up if these three are not going to happen and if we get a bigger pullback. Remember that when you are analyzing the stock market or when you're analyzing the charts, you're doing a candlestick by candlestick analysis. We try to build scenarios based on what we see on the chart right now. This could totally change, and then our scenarios are going to change as well. Let's take a look at Apple. Apple looks bullish. Previous resistance acting as a support. At the low, we have a hammer. This week could actually be a bullish one on Apple, and we could reach 270. Daily chart, we were sitting in a range, broke the range, and now we're sitting around the resistance area. If Apple ends up holding the 255 and tomorrow it engulfs, I think the next few days we are going to squeeze. For now, Apple looks like a good reversal because after the break, we're sitting around the retest area. 60-minute chart, we have a mini range on the 60-minute chart, and we're closing as a hammer around the low of the range, not at the low. That's why it's B, not A. Still a good long setup. And 5-minute chart, it's forming a consolidation area. Now, how can we trade Apple? Anyone? Any guesses? How can Apple be traded? Think about a couple scenarios. Drinking some poison around here. Don't go for Red Bull. So what do you think? How can Apple be played for a long? Obviously, the ideal scenario would be a false break of the low of the day. You can see that it's struggling to go up, but at the same time, it's struggling to go down. Intraday, it's more bearish. On higher time frame, it's more bullish. There is a lot of 50-50. Bullish daily, bearish 30 and hourly. struggling to squeeze, struggling to sell off. It could break to the upside, it could break to the downside. Since I'm a bit more long biased because the higher time frames are more long biased, I'd say that yes, a breakout would be good. Safer would be a breakout and a retest. Even safer would be to see it breaking down, see sellers trying to push, and then sellers get squeezed. So the ideal scenario would be a break with the recovery where you play to the long around the middle of the range. Then you add at the breakout, and then you add at the retest, and you exit on the first leg of first sort of momentum after that happens. So B minus set up the breakout. If it breaks, you can just give it an attempt. B plus setup if you play it after the retest area. A plus setup is if it breaks and it recovers into the middle of the range. So these are the three scenarios that we probably need. One of the three scenarios that we need to wait for if we want to play Apple to the long side. CF for a swing. Well, Gamal is asking about CF. CF for a swing. I'm not a fan of swing trading stocks that already made a big move. To be honest, you had a good selection. You picked a stock that broke a multi-year level, that had some momentum on a huge volume, and that's the first pullback, and you're trying to catch a continuation for a swing trade after a pullback. That you did really good selection, really good plan. For me though, I do not love playing swing trades on stocks that made the move. I love swing trading stocks that are dropping. For example, Tesla. Looking at Tesla, you can see that this thing had two key levels, one at 275, one of them at 300, and one of them at 350, three key levels. Obviously, there is another key level at 225, but that's a bit too far, and it's too early to speak about that level. Next thing is Tesla dropped from 500 all the way to 350. That's 30% drop. Good enough. But we know that for continuation plays, ideally we want to see 40 to 60% drops. So if I see that this thing goes to $300 and that would be a 40% drop, that's what I'm going to play to the long side. You know the beautiful part? The beautiful part is that if this thing recovers from 30 all the way to 500, that is going to be somewhere around 65% in profit. So you're going into a swing trade after a 40% drop, but if it recovers, your profit is going to be somewhere around 65%. It's obviously going to take a lot of weeks, maybe a lot of months before that happens, but it's better to swing trade at the bottom rather than swing trade at the peak. For example, probably there were some traders who were looking at Tesla. They saw this consolidation area and they're like, okay, we are breaking out on a decent volume. They play to the long side and now this thing drops. Does that mean that it's going to go to zero or they're going to blow up? I mean, they could blow up if they use margin and get some margin call, but if you just play with your cash, not including margin, this thing is going to recover. Sooner or later, it's going to recover. Tesla is a strong company. It survived a lot and it's proven itself throughout the time that this thing always recovers. So it's going to recover, but it's a matter of time. Now, if you played it around here and then you see it recovering, it will take you literally months, maybe a year or more, to get back to break even. Not to mention that after that, you needed to run for you to make some money. But if you buy it at the bottom and it ends up selling off more, it's just going to be a short period of time before this thing starts making the move. So buying at the bottom for swing trading or longer term trading is just safer, but it needs to be on good companies. Now let's take a look at the SNDK, then we'll get to your questions. Same thing about this one. If you're talking about swing trade, day trade wise though, these stocks are the best. For day trades, stocks like SNDK, stocks like I think it was CF, right? The one before this, yes, CF. These ones are really good for a day trade. I love it. Well done. Looks amazing. It's overstretched for intraday and not a good one for a reversal for sure. You can keep an eye on it for tomorrow. Bouncing back or losing momentum, it's probably losing momentum. It's not bouncing back up. Microsoft, I don't know if it's going to go down. I am long on Microsoft for a swing trade at 400. And I'm waiting for it to go to 350 so that I can add to my position. If that's not going to happen, then it's okay. It is what it is. This thing is probably strong over the shorter term and longer term. We broke above a mini consolidation area, so I can expect that there is going to be a continuation maybe over the next at least 1 or 2 days. Intraday, it's tough to tell. Take a look at the average true range of this thing. Let me add the ATR because I know the ATR, but probably some of you can't see it and can't tell. So the average true range in Microsoft is $8. That tells you that on average, Microsoft makes $8 moves. And today we already made $9. Already passed the ATR. If you are looking for a reversal or a pullback, you could do that. But you do not want to play a reversal or a pullback on a stock that is strong on the daily chart. If Microsoft was sitting around here today inside the range, or was somewhere around here in a downtrend, but intraday it had this type of price action, that's a good one for a reversal. If you take a look at the daily and you see that the stock is uptrending or breaking a range for a first time in a while, and then it starts an uptrend, that's a bad pattern for a reversal. Not a good one for continuation either, because the move is done. Good one for continuation at the open. Later during the day, it's definitely not. Right, let's see. Oracle for a reversal, right? Let me see. Oracle for a reversal. Oracle intraday is, oh yeah, it was an amazing one today. It is overstretched. It is a good one for a reversal. We had a new hourly high. We had a small fake breakout. So look, I wouldn't say that it's A plus or that it's fully ready, but it's not bad either. I think it's worth giving it an attempt for a reversal somewhere around here. Putting stop loss at the high of the range, and then if it makes it past this area, small add, past this area, another add, and out around 48.50-ish. If you want to go safer, make sure that you're locking in some profits around this. So yeah, Oracle, not the worst one for a reversal, still a bit too aggressive, still a bit too strong, but it's not bad. I can see a clear fake breakout on this one. Not so clear, but not bad either. Not bad, I like it. Good job picking up this stock. RGTI for a long setup, you're saying, right? RGTI is stuck in the middle of the range of the daily chart. Now, these are the ones that you need to be careful about trading. Intraday, it might be looking bullish. You might see a pullback. You might see it holding a level of support or view up, looking for a continuation. But that type of price action is good when the daily chart is supporting your thesis. When the daily chart is doing the total opposite or the daily chart is ugly, then no matter how good the price action intraday looks like, it's not a good one to trade. I don't want to sell Microsoft around 400. I am long on it around 400, and I'm waiting for it to go back to 520 to start looking in some profits. I'm waiting for Microsoft to sell off to 350 so that I can add to my position. How about MU, long or short? Let's see. MU is nothing at the moment. Same thing. We're stuck in the middle of the range, but if you had to bet long or short, would it be more long or short? What do you guys think? Sultan, of my entry on Microsoft is at $400. I'm at a loss on Microsoft. I'm down 5% on Microsoft, but I'm looking to add at 350. That's my goal on it. I am also long on Netflix. Netflix is going well. I'm already up around 25% on it, and I'm looking for 107 to start selling. MU is more of a longer term, is more of a long. You can see that we had a nice level of support. We broke the level of support, and after the breakout, this thing just recovered. It means that we had a fake break here. And that means that MU is probably going to reach the high of the range and maybe even break the high of the range. So that's over the long run. Intraday, I do not know. Intraday, it's ugly. You can see that this is the high of the channel. This is the low of the channel, of the micro channel. And we're stuck in the middle of it. You do not want to touch this thing. It could literally do anything. Well, Gamal, are you going to the gym? Do you use pre-workout? How old are you? Yeah, it's weird. I know why you don't feel it. It does work. It gives you the burst of energy when you just drink it for like 1 hour or 2 hours. But after that, it hits you so hard and you feel even worse than you felt before you start drinking it. It is poison. I agree with you. Don't drink it, guys. I'm literally killing myself slowly here. But I needed it today. I did not sleep in 3 days because of moving into a new house. It's a lot of things to just take in and out. And I couldn't fall asleep here while I'm here. I couldn't fall asleep while I'm here with you guys on YouTube. So I had to just drink one to keep me awake for 2 hours. You should not do that to yourself. I'm telling you, it's poison. Don't drink it. I just had to. It doesn't help me, Alex. I mean, I felt sleepy, tired, and I had to make it through this hour. Candy, after this, I'm not going to be able to fall asleep for like at least 4 or 5 hours. I'll be sleepy, I'll be tired, but I'll be so stimulated. So it's horrible. I'm not going to be able to fall asleep. It's poison. It's the worst thing that you could drink. And like I said, I just had to. If you have an option to take a 20-minute nap or 30-minute nap, or drink Red Bull, take the 20-minute nap. It's going to make you feel way better. Yeah, I usually go for naps. It helps better. PLTR. Oh my God, I forgot about it. Oh, thank you. You scared me. I thought that this thing dropped. You see, my mind is not here. I'm in a trade and I'm just jumping around. Coffee. Yes, coffee is good. It doesn't help as much as this as Red Bull, because Red Bull is not only caffeine. It has a lot of other poisonous chemical things in it that gives you that instant effect. Caffeine works less on me because I go to the gym and I drink pre-workout, and the type of energy drinks that I use are too strong. So caffeine or coffee, it doesn't help me a lot. I almost don't feel it. I'm using creatine, by the way. I use creatine. I use B12. I use vitamin D3. I drink zinc and magnesium. So I do have these small food supplements which help. Use testosterone. No, I'm not gonna mess up with my hormones, man. How does my day look like? Waking up around 11 or 10 a.m. Take a quick shower, drink some juice. If the weather is good, I go for a quick run. If the weather is bad, I just do some small, quick exercises in the morning. Watch some series or some sort of a movie. Open Dash Trader around 1 p.m. my time, just to take a look at whether the things capped up, capped down, build my first type of watch list. Then I go for a walk with my wife for 30 minutes or around an hour. Back home, spending my time uselessly, literally doing nothing. Around 4 p.m. my time, I open Dash Trader and I start building my watch list. Sometimes at 3 p.m. my time, which is 8 a.m. Eastern, I have a call with one of my mentees. If there is an option, I usually just put one of my mentees before the market open. It helps me reviewing their trades, talking about price action is kind of like a warm up before the market opens. If not, then I just spend it uselessly doing nothing. And at 8 a.m. Eastern, which is 4 p.m. my time, I start building my watch list. I trade till 10:30 approximately. Then I have a small lunch. I mean, I wake up late. If I wake up at 10 a.m. and I have my breakfast, or 11 a.m. and I have my breakfast, usually my lunch happens somewhere around 5:30 p.m. In between, there are some snacks. 6 p.m. my time, YouTube. 7 p.m. my time, BBT chat room. 8 p.m. my time, a call with one of my mentees. So it's like 3 hours straight of calls. And then my day is done. 9 p.m. I'm done. I have dinner. I take 1 hour rest. I go to the gym, work out for an hour and a half, come back home, watch something short, or sometimes I do some gaming for 30 minutes just to escape reality or the world, and then I go to bed, and I repeat that every day. So you can see there is a lot of free time right now, but that's going to change once the baby comes in. You thought I'm looking at screens all day? No, it's not like that. Waking up at 10, 11 a.m., there is a lot of free time and there is a lot of time outside. Yeah, I am going to be on YouTube 11 a.m. Eastern every day. Talgat, email Brandon at bearabletraders.com and he's going to fix that for you. Like I said, there is a lot of free time, so I want to get a dog, but I heard it's a lot of responsibility, and I have a baby coming in, so I do not know whether I should get a dog at the same time when the baby's coming in. So let me just take it slow, see how to deal with newborns, and if it's easy, I'm going to get a dog. Yeah, these are cute. Fabricio, I'm not getting upset anymore or frustrated. It used to happen to me back in time, but whenever I get frustrated, I just walk away. When you trade, you need to trade at that calm state of mind. That's what I usually tell my mentees. That feeling when you just come into the market at 9 a.m. or 9:30 a.m., the market opens and you just simply sit looking at the charts, fully confident, fully patient. That's the way you want to trade. The moment you start getting emotional, excited, scared, or frustrated, you want to take away. You want to take away, to go away, take a walk until you get back to that calm state of mind. Sometimes it takes 15 minutes or an hour. Sometimes it takes 2 hours or 3 hours. Sometimes it takes the full day. Let it take as long as it takes. But you should not sit in front of your screens when you are emotional. That's the worst thing that you could do. And yeah, let this be a final tip for our end of the hour, guys. I have to be on BBT right now. If you guys get any questions, feel free to email me, ayman@bearabletraders.com. Trade smart, everyone, and I'll talk to you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern. See you guys.